I know a lot of people that smile in my face, but talk behind my back every time I'm gone. So when they call my number, I'll never pick up. I don't know you shit, bitch, leave me alone. I'm going big, suck my dick. 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 Too many niggas, not enough hoes. And some of you niggas acting like hoes. Stay to myself like Lola do. Get high by myself, I'm not in the mood to apologize or be fake with you. We apologize if you ever knew. Too many niggas and not enough hoes. And most of you niggas acting like hoes. Everything I do is to alumni. I'ma take my time, I'm a master in. You should be mindful of a mastermind. But I let mine right where your mama left them. Blow up, hold up. I ain't seen your kind before. See me as a dollar sign. Till I resign or you report that I done you wrong. And I'm leaning on my home endeavors. Nigga, right now it's now and never. Nigga, right now I'm high as ever. But however, I know a lot of people that smile in my face, but talk behind my back every time I'm gone. So when they call my number, I'll never pick up. I don't know you shit, bitch, leave me alone. I'm going big, suck my dick. 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 Too many niggas, not enough hoes. And some of you niggas acting like hoes. Stay to myself like Lola do. Get high by myself, I'm not in the mood to apologize or be fake with you. We apologize if you ever knew. Too many niggas and not enough hoes. And most of you niggas acting like hoes. Everybody heard that I fuck with Dre, and they wanna tell me I made it. Nigga, I ain't made shit. If he gave me a handout, I'ma take his wrist and break it. Nigga, I'm faded off of that new boat, chillin' with two hoes in her. And they tie my laces, living the matrix as them pills that suffer. Me and my niggas just acting bad. High power conglomerate, living that life and counting cash. Old friends I no longer have. I know a lot of people that smile in my face, but talk behind my back every time I'm gone. So when they call my number, I'll never pick up. I don't know you shit, bitch, leave me alone. I'm going big, suck my dick. I'm going big, suck my dick. Too many niggas, not enough hoes. And some of you niggas acting like hoes.
Yeah, I remember when I came out and shit. Man, it been so long, so let's see my dick. Probably been 5 months since I seen my sick. Goddamn it, K-Dot when it comes to this. When I was sleeping on couches, nigga couldn't get a call, just a Glock for my round chair. Nigga, I was motherfucking out here. But the flashing lights let me suck like reindeer. When I should've been making bang gear, I was somewhere stuck with a flame here. Motherfucker, see how far that I came in. Went broke and I came up in the same year. Can I get a hell yeah? Drop my tear, hold my joy, show my pride.
Music save my fucking life. I'm doing right and you left behind. Feel my pain now. I'm styling Herman shit. I spent 1,000 different hoes, different islands.
Drop my mixtape and it's all like an album. Reason why I'm
going big, bitch. Suck my dick. Yeah, I'm going big, bitch. Suck my dick. Tell them I'm going big, bitch. Suck my dick. Yeah, I'm going big, bitch. Suck my dick. Too many niggas, not enough hoes. And some of you niggas acting like hoes. Stay to myself like Lola do. Get high by myself, I'm not in the mood to apologize or be fake with you. We apologize if you ever knew. Too many
All right, hold on, y'all. So, put a one in the chat if you guys can hear me real quick. You guys should be able to hear me. Hold on. Hold up. Okay, I see. All right, what's going on, Buster? What's going on, Bronze Flat Power God in the building? Shout outs to everybody here. Hold on, give me 1 second. All right. All right. Should be a little bit louder. Should be a little bit better. You know. Shout outs to everybody here. It's Player Talk Radio. I am your gracious host, DJ Kuda, right back at the helm of today's show. Still sick. Hold on, give me 1 second. Got a lot of stuff to go over on today's show, man. You know, not too much time to waste. Shout outs to Buster Free in the building. Good to see you, my brother. I'm trying to put a poll in the chat. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, give me 1 second. Hold on. Hold up. Give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. So yeah, I'm trying to put a chat in the poll. God damn, I'm trying to put a poll. God damn, trying to put a poll in the chat, and it's not, it's not really working out. So I'm trying to put all of this stuff together. My bad, y'all. I am still under the weather. But we are here, you know what I'm saying? If you guys could please do me a huge favor and hit the like button. You know, hit the like button and hit the Cash App. Start today's show off right. Man, we're going to be talking about black fatigue. I know you guys have been hearing about it. Some of you guys know about it. Some of you guys agree with it. You know what I'm saying? Let me actually do this on the computer. See if I can do that. Let me do the computer real quick. We talked about it, on a damn near almost every show. Shit, I know I could take almost a lot of stuff that I feel and put fatigue behind it and see if it means something. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people have their, like we're suffering from support fatigue, we're suffering from like fatigue, still 3 likes after I asked you guys to put or hit the like button. Hold on, there we go. Now I can put the poll in the chat. Here we go. Give me 1 second. This will give you enough time to hit the like button. There we go. Let's go. Give y'all some choices right quick.
Almost done. Right. All right, there we go. Poll in the chat. Okay. Keep this up, right? All right. So yeah, let's get into it. Let's get to what the internet is calling black fatigue. We got some videos to break down and some game to chop up. All right. Shout outs to everybody here. If you guys would like to support the show and don't have Cash App, you can definitely support via the coffee store. You know what I'm saying? This is specifically designed to, support the show. And you can check out my coffee store. I'm gonna have exclusive content over there that I cannot put on YouTube. Another thing that I'm learning too that YouTube definitely is competing with Netflix. I might have to put the wrestling the wrestling shows and stuff that I plan on doing. I might have to put that over there and on Rumble. Not on YouTube. So I may have like a trailer or a test, a test pilot or something, maybe just to see if I can have some of it on YouTube. But you know, I wouldn't be surprised if I can't. And while they're playing games with my monetization, um, and I'm posturing the channel for some other content for your enjoyment, I might as well try it, you know. you know. So yeah. So like I said, we went for monetization last month, and they denied it once again. So like I said, if you guys enjoy Player Talk Radio, please support Player Talk Radio. All right. And I'm doing everything. I'll be up here talking. I don't even be doing nothing, honestly. Yeah, we go over videos and stuff like that, but I do commentary, and half the time I'm talking. But people enjoy the show, so please support the show, y'all. All right, it's Player Talk Radio. Let's get it. So we do have a poll in the chat that I will have to check. And 100% says, what's that? Okay, let's get into what black fatigue is. And we're going to get into Aunt T, chopping it up with Dr. Umar's daughter. So, got a lot of stuff to cover on today's show. It's Player Talk Radio. All right. I don't know why this is not coming up. Hold on. get into this one. I had another show lined up, but we'll just get to. All right, I don't know why it's not sharing. Hold on. Why is it not coming up? Hold on, y'all. Oh boy, hold on, y'all. Why is it not letting me share my screen? Bad enough, I have to prepare to do a long ass stream. Let's go. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me go out and come back in. It's not letting me share my screen. Give me 1 second. All right, let's see if it's gonna let me share my screen. Hold on. Not letting me share my screen. What type of bullshit is this? Hold on. All right, what is going on? It's not letting me share my screen. What's going on, JR? I don't know why this thing is not letting me share my screen. And now the poll is coming up in my chat. How is this even working? Hold on, y'all. What the fuck? This thing is not letting me share my screen. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me like 2 seconds. Y'all hit the poll, support the show. Give me like 1 second. Be right back.
Black fatigue is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. She'll be watching her back for the rest of her life. Yeah, because that's not thuggery, hidrattery, animalistic. This is why people have black fatigue. When you act like this, it's not normal behavior.
So I had not initially seen these two now deleted videos from a woman who was attempting to talk about what happened in Rochester, Minnesota, where a white mom called a 5-year-old child the N-word, doubled down on her racial slur, and then flipped off that kid's family. And how after that incident went viral all over the internet, a Christian fundraising site called Give, Send, Go raised over $700,000, but not for that little kid who had to endure that woman's racial slurs. No. They raised $700,000 for the white mom yelling racial slurs at a 5-year-old child. After the mom doubled down on the content in that video saying, and I quote, "I called the kid out for what he was," a Christian fundraising platform raised
All right, can y'all hear me now? Y'all should be able to hear me. All right, there we go. Now it's saying 0 people in the chat. Thank you, Stoic. Shout outs to Unfriendly Stoic, man. Good to see you, man. All right, let's try this again. I never had to monitor a stream so much to try to bring y'all some content, but let's go. I was saying earlier that depending on where you are in the world, hold on. All right, there we go. Depending on where you are in the world and what you're doing and what side of the internet that you're on, a lot of people in the world feel the same way. You know what I'm saying? They gave that woman all that damn money to be racist and stuff like that. You know, to say what was on their mind and stuff. And people were saying that, oh, her life would never be the same, and blah blah blah. You know, and it's amazing too, to a certain degree, But maybe that's what happens when you're, I guess, the quote unquote beauty standard. But shit, the blonde women they still get grace. You know, being blonde ain't so much taboo. You know, in the white community. You know what I'm saying? So they still get grace. You know, they still get grace in their community. That they're gonna get taken care of. And I mean, look at the last people to go viral. The I was about to say Tommy Lauren, the Hawk Tuah girl, and a bunch of other women. So there really ain't no slowing down in their community. You know, and then like I said, you have this Metcalf situation, and you have a lot of other racial situations and things going on in the world today. So you need people to stand up and say things that a lot of people that are, you need people to stand up and say things that a lot of people are afraid to say, you know. So they looked out for her, I guess. They took care of her. Now, I didn't see the video that they're talking about, you know. Now, we showed Piers Morgan, and we've been showcasing Myron on the channel, not to, for the last couple of shows. We got one more clip with Myron. Also, we got the shout outs to Nicer. We have Aunt T's, interaction with Dr. Umar Johnson coming up. So we got a lot to, cover on today's show. So definitely stay locked in with us. I got you guys on your work shift and on your, your trucking and driving shift. Please hit the like button and support the show. All right. A lot of content to go through on today's show. It's Player Talk Radio. Let's get it. Let's go.
Black fatigue is real. I think society as a whole is there. We are just so unbelievably fed up with the ghetto ratchet behavior, entitlement, the victimhood. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. She'll be watching her back for the rest of her life. Yeah, because that's not thuggery, hoodrattery, animalistic. This is why people have black fatigue. When you act like this, it's not normal behavior.
So I had not initially seen these two now deleted videos from a woman who was attempting to talk about what happened in Rochester, Minnesota, where a white mom called a 5-year-old child the N-word, doubled down on her racial slur, and then flipped off that kid's family. And how after that incident went viral all over the internet, a Christian fundraising site called Give, Send, Go raised over $700,000, but not for that little kid who had to endure that woman's racial slurs. No. They raised $700 for after the mom doubled down on the content in that video saying, and I quote, "I called the kid out for what he was." A Christian fundraising platform raised more than $700,000 for that woman. A GoFundMe page for her also raised almost $400,000. Now, my understanding is that both of those organizations are not going to be giving that woman that money, because fundraising a bunch of money to support a woman being a racist violates their terms of service. So obviously, internet discourse has blown up over this subject, with racists saying that people being mad at this mom are participating in cancel culture. And again, they all want to throw a bunch of money at her and affirm her racist behavior that she doubled down on. And then you have folks on the other side who are saying a small child had to endure intentional, racist, hateful behavior, a verbal attack from an adult. And what does it say about our country that she felt free to treat a child that way? And then doubled down on her racism afterward and was also flooded with support from people who were like, hell yeah, girl. Be a total shitbag to a little kid, lob those racial slurs at a child. Like, what does that say about our country? So this woman, whose videos I showed you at the beginning, she thought she had some meaningful contribution to this conversation, where she said, yeah, okay, it wasn't okay that this woman did this, but all of American society has black fatigue. First off, girlfriend, your little racist backwater does not represent all of American society, and how fucking dare you think you...
Ooh, not racist backwater. Ooh. What's going on, Hood Conservative? Good to see you. Shout outs to Cut to the Chase TV. Shout outs to everybody in the building, man. Hold on, I'm catching up on the comments, y'all. You know, we went through a little bit of technical difficulties, but we up and we running. Shout outs to Cut to the Chase. Shout outs to Hood Servative. Hood Servative says the black fatigue conversation feels like everybody's doing the content I've been doing for years now. We've been doing for years, right? Shout outs to Hood Servative. Cut says, so is black fatigue the newest slang word in the space? I've been seeing that term everywhere. Good question, Cut. Black fatigue is coming up in a lot of racial conversations now because apparently the world is tired of niggas. The world is tired of niggas and their blackness and certain things that, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, black people do. But everybody does it, you know? And, you know, shout outs to Cut, you know, one of the most influential YouTubers and hardest working YouTubers, aside from myself and a bunch of other people. Shout outs to my brother Cut to the Chase. Even Cut, you've expressed that, you know, I'm tired of this nigga shit, you know? Cut, you know what we do. We deliver news. We talk about a lot of different stuff. I don't know why a lot of people are pretending like they're tired. I mean, everybody gets their right to be tired of shit. You know what I'm saying? But you know us, we deal with the abnormal amount of it. You know what I'm saying? So when we say we're tired of certain things, you know damn well we're tired of certain things, you know? I know in one of your videos recently too, you've expressed that, you know, you're tired of really doing the same shows, not shows, but like delivering the same news over and over again. You know, I agree with you, you know? This person gunned down, this person killed, that happened to this person hanging out where he not supposed to be, this person riding through his ops neighborhood, all this other goofy shit, right? And, you know, like I said, I agree with it, you know, but, you know, I understand black fatigue, but we got to understand too, y'all, right, Bronze? But there's this focus on black people. You see, black people have played a monumental role in influence in American history, American politics. Everybody looks at black people after a while and be like, damn, well, I'm glad we not fucked up like them niggas over there. Or they use us as, hey, man, you know, the hood, you know, as if white people don't have hoods, you know, or shanty towns, you know. There's a focus on black people. They've built websites focused on black killings. I know for a fact that if I play some music on YouTube, I would get copyrighted and all kinds of different stuff. But I can showcase or talk about black people being unsubscribed from life all damn day. You know? I can talk about, you know what I'm saying? I can go on YouTube and go to certain places and I can see this. I don't even have to go looking for it, and I can see this. I can go on World Star. I can go on everywhere. Say Cheese. All of these people. There's white black historians. You know, that they know black culture so much. Your Trap Lord Rosses, your 1090 Jakes. No Jumpers, your Vlads, you know. So honestly, too, if we're gonna have this conversation, y'all know how I do it. You know, I'm gonna give y'all the game. That people have the right to be tired of black culture and black society and stuff like that. But let's not act like they don't benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like there's a focus on it. There's a focus on it too. Huge focus on it. And yes, black people are tired of it also. Black people are fed up with it. Black people are at the epicenter of it. Black people had more of it than the average person. We're going to talk about that also. You understand what I'm saying? But with this Austin Metcalf situation, the draft, every single piece of news that we're getting our hands on, y'all, has had some type of racial undertone to it. You know what I'm saying? It has some type of racial undertone to it. Right now, Tory Lanez got popped in jail. There's a racial undertone to that. A lot of different stuff going on that we got to talk about on today's show. So I hope you guys are locked in. I got you. It's Player Talk Radio. Please hit the like button. Support the show. Finally got the show up. Please hit the PayPal, Cash App, support the show. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that's going on in today's show because white victimhood is back on the rise. And yes, they were saying that, you know, what this woman did, yes, it was bad. But they supported her. They, you know, made sure that her life wasn't messed up. No sympathy given to the kids. And let me tell y'all something that that people have known for a long time. When you have to go after another race's children, that signifies the health of the people, the moral and mental health of the people that criticizes, not necessarily criticize, but that you know that signifies the health of another race. And people have been talking about that since Trayvon Martin and a lot of other different, you know, stories that we've had to cover over the years, y'all. And this is what I'm saying, you know, black people will get attacked to a certain degree, or fucked off, or put in a societal mental trick bag, and then society wants to play stupid, like, oh my god, I don't know why he's acting like that. Oh my god. And even other black people will play that way too, you know. So sometimes these little experiments come around every other year just to see where black people are at mentally and get these dialogues and talks going on open platforms and stuff like that. So, you know, like I said, just pay attention, you know. And not everything is meant to be turned into racial bias or anything like that. You understand what I'm saying? So we're going to get into it. Y'all know we're going to definitely drop some game on today's show. Please hit the like button. Support the show. Let me catch up to the chat real quick and let's get back into the game. We're talking about a lot of weird racial stuff, even with this whole Myron situation. You know what I'm saying? Alright? Hoodservative said black people have been doing criticizing for so long that now the eyes are on black people. It's very uncomfortable. Absolutely. 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 And I've seen so many people in our community add great commentary to it. You know what I'm saying? Especially Cut to the Chase TV here, you know. Brother Cutman definitely cooking, you know, and definitely putting in, you know, moral messages, you know, into his work. Because after a while, even we get tired. I know I get tired of this shit. There's like 5 stories going right now. We got the Munaman story, just in Chicago too. But we got the story, the Munaman story. We got the O'Block Duke story. I was just watching J Mane and 051 Kiddo thing, going on. We got another rapper in Philly that rapped about peace. He passed away. We just did another story. I just saw another story not too long ago in Atlanta. OTF Duty Low got shot and got his chain took. Tory just got popped in jail. Oh, and we gonna get into the Diddy shit. All kinds of people was giving me hell about the whole Diddy case last couple years, right? And now all of a sudden everybody want to regurgitate what I've been saying for years, that Cassie was in on it. Y'all niggas don't know a fucking bottom bitch if one slapped the shit out y'all. Shout outs to the real players here in the building, because y'all know what the hell I'm talking about. Y'all been rocking with me and riding with me the whole time. And I appreciate you guys for that. Genuinely. I've been telling y'all, man. I don't know why y'all talking about Cassie like she's a victim. She's a part of it. Y'all just as bad as the police. Y'all worse than the police. There ain't no way you gonna be running around with somebody for more than 10 years and you not guilty too. Get the fuck out of here. Bottom bitches are way worse than pimps on hoes, bro. The madame is way worse than a pimp on a fucking hoe. She could follow a hoe into the woman's bathroom. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. We reaching a point where this news and the information gonna separate the real from the fake, man. And hopefully the real got a microphone. I know a couple of real players that got a microphone, man. Real talk. Cut to the Chase said degenerate black culture made a lot of people rich, and many people talk about the ills of black society to make money, even the black conservatives. People constantly send me stories to do on black people. Absolutely. Absolutely. Same with me here. And every once in a while I do pre-records or I talk about it on live. I mainly talk about it on live. But I need to gas back up on the pre-records, which they're on their way. It's very hard to do live streams and pre-records at the same time. I'm already burning myself out, Shout outs to Underrated Darkness in the building, man. I got you, bro. Just let me know when you're free. We gotta link up. Follow me in the Discord. And we can set something up. Because I need to start utilizing Discord more, and I need to shift everything around and update everything. So, it's just too much stuff to keep up with at the moment. You dig? But shout outs to Underrated Darkness. If you guys aren't subscribed to Underrated Darkness, tap in with my brother, doing the Lord's work. Alright? Yeah, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. I got you, bro. Cause they sometimes the link for the Discords die. What's going on, Tampa? Shout outs to Tampa. Tampa said, I didn't know being a freak is against the law. Yeah, that's what it really is. And they're fucking up that case. Like I said, these new millennial and zillennial feds are trash, man. They don't even know how to do their damn job with all this damn technology. Put that man in jail for a damn RICO, and they did the same thing with R. Kelly. They can't even prove that he's trafficking people. And Cassie, I heard her husband stormed out the courtroom. She up there pregnant, talking about she still loves Diddy with this other man's baby in her stomach. Got cashed out. You know what I'm saying? telling y'all what I've been telling y'all. She, you know what I'm saying? She in on that shit. Absolutely. Crazy. Let me get this Discord link together. Give me 1 second, y'all. And being a freak as a black man is against the law. It absolutely is. One nigga at a time rule. You know, you can't be a black Hugh Hefner. Cut said it seems like once the details start coming out about the Diddy case, it swayed the public's opinion and perception of him. A lot of people are supporting Diddy and saying he innocent and just a freak. Yeah, you're a cuck. That's what I've been saying the whole time. Now, a lot of the people, cause like, even the people that started beefing with me from that situation, like dumbass Super Sly and all these other people try to make this whole thing cooler. What if you had a daughter and she was there and all that? I'm like, man, bro, shut that bullshit up, man. Niggas is really trying to act like they felt bad for Cassie and shit like that. No, they didn't. That's what I was talking about. Like, these niggas in the manosphere be openly trying to talk about going to freak offs and all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just that men have what's called, men don't even know how to articulate themselves on the internet. What niggas was trying to talk about with Cassie and women and daughters and all that goofy shit was they were trying to talk about, what they were displaying was called the Madonna whore complex. You know what I'm saying, Cut? And I gave y'all the game on the Madonna whore complex. But I'm going to give y'all the game again. What the Madonna whore complex is that men, we go to parties and functions and stuff like that, and we want freaks there. These dudes be lying. They want freaks there. Men want women now more than ever to give it up on the first date. We go to parties expecting freaks and stuff to be there. Yes, we do. We go to parties like, yo, we about to drink, we about to bag some baddies tonight. You know, we go to bars expecting to see freaks and have quote unquote freak offs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? A lot of men up here lying their ass off. The thing is that they don't want it to be their daughters on that dance floor. They don't want it to be their sisters or aunties or mamas or somebody that they know, somebody that's close to home. And I get it, you know, don't nobody want it to be that person. But guess what? The reality of it is some of those people are those people. Right? And they were bringing up all kinds of stupid shit like Tupac and all these other people and stuff like that. And then they start bringing in, oh, well, Diddy screwed over Total and all these other people. Mind you, y'all. Oh, Diddy killed Biggie. I get it. Cool. But that's not what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Then they start getting into goofy shit. Niggas that can't even break down properly a 360 record deal. Don't know shit about the record business. Running around talking about some Diddy did people dirty in the record industry. Yes, he probably did. But then again, a lot of these people don't even know how the record industry works. So it's like the source. It's like, how can we take what you're saying true? You know? Sometimes he didn't do people dirty. If somebody lend you $1 million, you probably can't pay back that $1 million. If somebody lend you $2-3 million and you don't sell, you owe that person. And it's not just Diddy. You owe a corporation. You owe people. It's not just Diddy alone. And then we're acting like people don't mismanage record deals and funds and all that other stuff. People mismanage that, you know. But people want to just blame it on Diddy. Like, for example, you know, a lot of people don't understand how the record industry works, and they're like, oh, well, Drake, he wrong for trying to sue the record label. No, he's not. No, the fuck he's not. A lot of y'all look at Drake as one person. Drake is not one person. Drake is a corporation. Drake is a business entity. Drake is a team. He stopped being one man more than 10 years ago. Other people's interests and work and all kinds of stuff is wrapped up into what he got going on. But see, when people don't understand certain things, that's when you start getting twisted stories and all kinds of different stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. What's going on, Black Manosphere? You said, I think the thing men want from women is to be liked back. Well, he likes the woman to feel like he or his game is the one thing, is the one being co-signed by her. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, Black Manosphere? What are you talking about? My bad, y'all. I am sick. It hurts to talk, but I gotta put in this work. It's Player Talk Radio. Hold on, y'all. Why? I don't even know why my thing is this color, because y'all can't even really see the comments. Give me 1 second. I gotta... Oh, Jesus. I gotta play around with this thing again. Hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. Shout out to my brother Cut to the Chase TV in the building. Always good to see you. Cut says, people got to realize a record deal is an investment. When the label gives you that $1 million advance, they plan on making that money back, plus more off you. Yeah, they plan to recoup it and then make more. And the advance is not free money, right? And I've been saying this for years, Cut, and people don't listen, don't even understand what the hell they talking about. That a record, you know, it's not a record deal. It's a record loan. You know what I'm saying? That shit is a record loan. It never was a record deal. It's a record loan. But the thing about it, and why a lot of people take it, is because, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's better to have money than to not have money. And then, you know, when you take certain deals and stuff like that, you know, you get connects. You get to be around people you normally wouldn't be around. A lot of people don't understand that, though. Especially black people. Black people are allergic. They are allergic to record deals. Shout outs to everybody in the building. Please hit the like button. Support the show. Alright. Hit the like button. Support the show. Black Manosphere says, if I know rocket science, I still want. If I never know rocket science, I'll still want to fly in a rocket, regardless. Point blank. Thank you very much. No discussion. You said people don't know how to. People don't know anything. Want to feel something. You said I'm talking about when a man goes out of his home into the world, he wants to meet a woman. I'm talking about. Okay, yeah. That's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that a lot of men, they have they have they have the Madonna whore complex. You know, they have the Madonna whore complex. You did? What's going on, Aqua Dragon in the building? Good to see you guys. Y'all please hit the like button. Show some support on the way in. It's Player Talk Radio. You said I don't have to understand money to know that money, to know what money does, and what, and that I want and need money for access to things I don't create myself. Black people are tired of black people. The black people are tired. Black people have black fatigue. Yeah, of course black people have black fatigue, but that's a given. That's a given. You know what I'm saying? That's a given. Black people having black fatigue is a given. You know what I'm saying? But there's a white victimhood mentality that's going on, and you know, these discussions are getting a little bit more deeper. But let's get into it, y'all. Y'all hit the like button. Support the show. It's Player Talk Radio. Let's get it.
You speak for all of us. Now, I want to take a quick little tangent here because initially I had not seen these videos, but I had seen a number of creators I follow talking about black fatigue. Now, these were all black creators who were referencing apparently this woman's videos, but I was confused.
And that's why you're seeing it from black people more to a certain degree.
Because I had not heard the term black fatigue used that way. I thought black fatigue was referencing the exhausting experience of being a black person in the United States of America. How the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow, how institutionalized racism, generational poverty, and
that was a I think that was a book. But you know, black people don't read, so you know, black people don't know about that damn book. But let's go.
Unending, exhausting push for racial justice in this country are causing black people to feel a bone deep, spiritually deep level of fatigue. Right? And so I was confused about the term black fatigue being used to basically mean like white people are tired of having to not be overtly racist. White people are tired of having to like witness black people living their lives or see elements of black culture. Like I didn't understand what was happening. Right? Because in my mind, I'm thinking black fatigue, like the book that Mary Frances Winters wrote in 2020 called Black Fatigue, How Racism Erodes the Mind, Body, and Spirit. Winters' book describes how in every aspect of life, from economics to education to work, criminal justice, and very importantly, health outcomes, the trajectory for black people is not improving. That the book is trying to illuminate the myriad dire consequences of living while black. And then I saw that woman's videos and I was like, oh, I get it now. I get it. Once again, white people are co-opting black people's terminology and twisting something important, a really crucial concept that we need to understand in their
So now, like I said, you got white people picking up on it. And instead of running with it, you got a lot of them snitching. Like, oh, I see what y'all are doing. Let's go.
Twisting it into something it didn't originally mean. They're twisting it into something poisonous and dirty and offensive.
Shout outs to Cut to the Chase in the building. Cut to the Chase TV in the building. Shout outs to Black Manosphere in the building. Shout outs to Hood Servative, Bronze Flat Power God. Shout outs to JR, Unfriendly Stoic. Shout outs to Buster Free. Shout out to everybody in the building. Please make sure y'all hit the like button. Support the show on the way in. Hit the like button. Let's go.
offensive, right? Just like DEI originally was about diversity, equity, and inclusion, really good, positive things. And the Trump regime has twisted it to mean something negative in the eyes of many Americans now. Right, it's not unlike how conservatives took the term woke and they twisted it into something that now has a negative connotation. They appropriated the word and then tried to transform it into an insult. Right, it's obviously crystal fucking clear that the woman at the beginning of this video is out and proud about her racism, right? Black fatigue to her means I'm tired of having to look at Black people. I'm tired of having to interface with Black people living their lives. I'm uncomfortable with Black culture. I'm uncomfortable with any behavior out of a very narrow, polite range of what is expected of white people. I feel distress when I see people who are behaving in ways that do not conform to my white Christian version of politeness. But like even more than that, I think what she's saying with Black fatigue is I am tired of having to face institutional racism. I'm tired of having to look at Black people when they show me, they demonstrate to me that racism is alive and well in this culture, that generational poverty is alive and well in this culture, that racial discrimination is alive and well in this culture. I don't like having to look at that. That makes me really uncomfortable, right? And notice how she so freely, easily dehumanizes the appearance of Black people, the behavior of Black people, the culture of Black people. She chooses to use terms like ratchet, like thug, like animalistic. And I realized watching her videos a couple times over that when she says Black fatigue, what she really means is the white woman's right to comfort. I don't want to have to look at things or people that make me feel any level of distress, that make me uncomfortable.
Now, that was a big topic in America for a long time. That definitely didn't involve Black people. That was a huge topic in America that we have to talk about. It's like an audit, you know what I'm saying, y'all? And even the white man at some point used to worry about that. When white women feel uncomfortable in America, a lot of shit happens. I don't know about that so much this time around. I don't know about that so much this time around. Society has changed. The last time this happened, what's going on, Shannon B? Generational property is a choice. That's interesting. What I'm saying is this, though. You know, white women, when they say, yo, I'm uncomfortable, people would move mountains for them. And, you know, nowadays, it seems like people have a completely, you know what I'm saying, a different disposition towards that. You know, it seems like society's like, hey, stop being racist. Let's move forward. You know, they used to all get on code. You know what I'm saying? They get some laws written and stuff like that, you know. Even look at feminism. Feminism is I'm a white woman and I don't feel comfortable. You know? America is not as taboo as it once was. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Quay Dash? Not as moved as it once was. The people's mindsets are in a completely different space. So you got a lot of them calling that shit out. So let's get it.
Comfortable in any way. The priority.
And this is what I'm gonna say. You know, I mean, are white men gonna jump to the rescue? Like, what does that mean? Like, who's gonna really jump to the rescue in this setting and stuff like that? Because this is the thing. Hold on. Whoa. Whoa. Lord have mercy. I did not even notice. Shit. Whoa. Whoa. I'm going to go. I went to go check out who, my bad, y'all. This shit just came out of nowhere. I went to check the show support. Jesus Christ. Shout outs to Nicer dropping the Hugh. God damn. This, I don't even have, I need to have something for this. Shout outs to Nicer dropping the humongous. Cowabungus. Jesus Christ. $100 on the, whoa. On the Cash App. Thank you so much. Lord have mercy. Good Lord. Shout outs to Nicers for supporting the show as always and supporting beyond the show. Dropping a huge $100 on the Cash App. I don't, hold on. Jesus Christ. I don't even know where to, hold on, y'all. Shout outs to 1,000 Suns. Hold on, y'all. I don't even know what to play for this. I'm still trying to reset up the show. Jesus Christ.
All right, we going. What a money resign. What a money resign. What a money resign. What a money resign. Okay, let me tell y'all something. I'm doing something real big this month. Any deal that y'all got and they beating us, I'm gonna beat about $400. Just give me your pen and the paper, cause I'm at what the what? What a money resign. What a money resign. What a money resign. What a money resign. Okay, I told y'all before. Y'all know what I do. I give all these good deals and everything else. Y'all better ask about me because I do all that all the time. And that's on who? Man had a little lamb. Okay. 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 Okay.
Good Lord. Shout outs to Nicer. Oh my God. I appreciate that. God damn. Oh well shit. The panel's open. The panel is beyond open. Like, you know, yeah, shout outs to Nicer. Oh my God. Lord have mercy. Thank you everybody that's been rocking with the show and supporting and sponsoring the show. Lord, hold on, let me go fish for this link real quick. God damn, that opened my eyes wide. I didn't even notice. Eyes went wide open, y'all. Shit. Shout outs to Nicer as always, man. I'm flabbergasted beyond words, y'all. Shit, the panel is open. The panel is beyond open, all right? Y'all come up. Definitely let me know. And give me y'all stories. Do you guys have stories on black fatigue? You dig? All right, let me catch up on the comment. You said everyone should be scared when black people start to see the same and think the same things. Yeah. You know, just like some of this, just like the manosphere, just like a lot of the stuff that we talk about. People will tell you as a black man that you tripping, you know, that you bugging. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, well, we must be having the same dream. You know what I'm saying? We must be having the same dream. We must be having the same dream. Black people are the main people that are affected by black fatigue. You know? But to ignore it is to make it seem like everybody else don't have any type of fatigue same type of fatigue amongst themselves. White people, you got white people tired of white people. You got Latino people tired of Latino people. You got a lot of people tired of a lot of people. But you know what's the difference? Wanna know what's the difference? They still stick together. Now, I don't want to say what I'm going to say. They're not even afraid of black people waking up. They're afraid of niggas going rogue like Kanye. A lot of this shit is to take your mind off of Kanye. I know y'all are like, Kuda, oh God, what are you talking about? Listen, because I thought about it. I sat down and I thought about it. I'm like, man, Kanye is losing his mind. Or is he? What's going on, Toya? Kanye's losing his mind. Or is he? He's a billionaire. Nobody's talking about that. He's ruffling a lot of people's feathers. What's going on, Pastor? Yeah, I you know, that's not a KKK garb. That's a Christian garb. Some of these narratives are out here to combat some of the shit. Hey, look, don't focus on Kanye. Focus on this. We not dumb. Let's get it.
Of my comfort must be put.
Toya, what do you think about black fatigue? Toya, you have black fatigue. We all have black fatigue. Every black person suffers from black fatigue. What is this atrocity?
Above all else, including like black people's right to live their lives. So what this woman is saying is that she is uncomfortable watching black people living their lives. Either because so many components of black culture don't meet the societal etiquette, politeness expectations that are put on white people, or her racism makes her intolerant of having to look at black people, witness black culture, or because on some level her discomfort is tied to guilt and shame. She does not like having to look at, be faced with any of the evidence of racial injustice, of black oppression, of systemic poverty that are widespread in this country. That makes her very uncomfortable. She doesn't want to see black people living their lives, especially based on the way that she's describing the black.
Now that's some real shit right there. That's some real shit right there, Black Manosphere. Kanye's dollar is not powerful and he's losing influence. I don't think he's losing influence, but people are, with the crazy talk, but people are paying attention to him. You said white people's dream is to conquer the earth. Is black and white. Is not dominant across the planet. Black people are peaceful, sharing and loving, not thinking about taking over the world. Man, black people are just trying to survive and party and have fun and wait for Jesus. You know, and a lot of white people share the same sentiments also, but when we get into politics and we get into a lot of different other stuff, man, and things that can corrupt the man, we got to plan and think again, you know? Kanye's not really losing influence. If you don't if you don't know your history, you won't know what Kanye's doing. So Kanye's around a lot of elite cats. You know, he's around some elite people that, you know what I'm saying? That's literally, you know, he's around some elite people. I would just say that. You know, don't sleep on Ye. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to LT Man. When LT Man showed me that was a Christian garb, and I was like, okay, that was the missing link right there. I was like, okay, I see what he's doing. Because remember, on the last show, we were talking a little bit about Christianity. Most Christians can't tell you when Christianity started. You know? Most Christians can't tell you when Christianity started. And like I said, when Kanye was doing his antics, a lot of people that were Jewish, they agreed with him, wanted to meet with them, talk to him. Because isn't that crazy how Kanye's more free than a Jewish man to a certain degree? Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy that most black people, right? And black men, they can, I'm not even gonna lie, you can say they can be racist with impunity openly, and a lot of white people that feel the same way can. You know? What's his name? I was about to say Tucker Carlson. Was it Tucker Carlson? Yeah. Tucker Carlson. Wait, was it Tucker Carlson? Who was the guy that I was just talking about? What's going on, Black Manosphere? Hold on, let me make sure I get his name right. Jump in, man. Because Kanye was just on the show. Let me see. Tucker. Make sure it's Tucker Carlson. Yeah, Tucker Carlson. Hold on. And he probably gonna talk about this shit too. Hold on, no, it's not. Was it Tucker Carlson? Hold on, y'all. Now I'm getting. What show was it? Wasn't Tucker Carlson? What show was Kanye just on a minute ago? Kanye and Sneeko. What's his name? What's his name, y'all? I know somebody gonna say it. Hold on. Now everything wanna act stupid. Hold on. Black Manosphere, are you there? And like I said, Kanye is popping up with streamers and stuff like that. Piers Morgan. God damn. It took me a minute to get it. Piers Morgan. My bad, y'all. I'm old now. Piers Morgan is doing like this kind of reverse racism thing. It says your mic is on, Black Manosphere, but we can't hear you. Maybe you have to drop down and come back up, but change your. Y'all got to keep keep your phone settings, you know, because if you're using like Bluetooth headphones or something like that, sometimes, you know, it's gonna configure it weird, you know, when you join like a panel and stuff like that. I don't know. This stuff is weird, you know. Okay, yeah. All right, he dropped. All right. So, not Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan, yeah. He's a racist guy. Or would like to say a lot of racist stuff too. Or plays the race game, you know, if anything. You know what I'm saying? And he don't get the freedom to say whatever he wants. You know, Alex Jones, he don't get the freedom to say whatever he wants. You know what I'm saying? They'll get your ass up out of here. You got to be a different type of black man or super protected to be racist. You know what I'm saying? Or they just try to undermine you. That's why they got Farrakhan's ass up out of here. You know? And shit, even nowadays, Farrakhan, he's agreeing with Kanye or not subscribing to certain things. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. So amazing. But anyway, let's get back into this.
Black behavior and black people that make her uncomfortable. Black people in poverty. The white woman's right to comfort is saying that protecting the feelings of white women, making sure that they do not feel any amount of discomfort or distress over justice and over the lives of other people. Black fatigue is just the white woman's right to comfort repackaged in a way that tries to blame black people for.
My thing is, though, is the white man gonna give a damn this time around? Is the white man gonna give a damn for this time around? White men are heavily chasing Asian women. Does the white man, even though you see a lot of white men buying into this race victim stuff, but does the white man give a damn about his lady this time around? That's a legit question. Or is he too busy messing with Sue Young? Is he messing with his chops? You know? Does the white woman's comfort in America mean anything? And I can say yes, it still does. You know what I'm saying? It's some goofy shit to think about, especially in this day and age. And it seems very racist and taboo, y'all. But somebody got to talk about it. Somebody got to talk about it. Now, the white man should feel, the white woman should feel protected. I mean, this is one of those things where it's like, okay, you might want to back up on fighting the quote-unquote patriarchy. You understand what I'm saying? Because in this case, the patriarchy protects white women because guess what? The patriarch protects their family. So the only thing that would stop or make certain men care is the patriarchy. You know, if you raise in a certain family, yes. That's an easy answer to that question. But then again, white America and feminism does play stupid to a certain degree. But anyway, jump in, Pastor. What's going on? Jump in. Are you suffering from black fatigue?
Hell no. Like, not as they say it. I mean, look, yo. I remember we used to have these conversations in these spaces about how we need to separate, and how the good black folks need to separate from the hood black folks. Man, look, man. First of all, I don't think that's gonna that already happens because we live in different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
We attend different jobs. I don't even think we really go to church together. So that already to a certain extent happens. And honestly, I don't know if black people have really benefited from that. That's just why you see a whole lot of middle class black. Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you got the white people taking the book and stuff that black people saying, because this is just a manifestation of I love black people, but I hate niggas. That's really what it is.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
So you only love like 5 to 6% of your. You love like maybe 5 to 6% of the entire race.
Mm-hmm.
So what you gonna do? Let the other 7 or 8 or 9% just
But I mean, think about it like this though. And I want to bring this up. What if somebody in the suburbs says this? You know, like the gated communities that a lot of, brothers, that a lot of black people strive hard to get into. What if somebody in the gated community is saying this? You know, what's the thought about that? Like about the black families that are in some of these gated communities.
They are. What I think about that is they're ostracizing, or they're secluding or isolating themselves away from the majority of blacks, thinking that they're going to assimilate better into this new community that they're in, and they go. And what happens is they fuck around and find out. that you can't like you as much as you think you can cut off your own and assimilate to somebody else's. I don't know. I don't know if it work. I don't know if it work in the long term. I think that those black people will be better off starting a little league baseball team, a little Pop Warner football team, and spending time with the parents and the children, and because that's what I'm noticing. A lot of middle class suburban black people are coming back to like DeSoto. No, not really DeSoto, but Duncanville, Oak Cliff, South Oak Cliff, and what they're doing is they're bringing a lot of that middle class northern like Frisco, Plano money back down to South Dallas to help with the kids in sports, which helps this camaraderie between different classes of black people.
Okay.
Because there has to be that we can't do like white people have done and literally
Well, I mean,
practice classism.
Well, I mean, even if white people agree that they don't like being around niggas and niggas not gonna like being around niggas, obviously, they will still look at you like you're somewhat of a traitor, to your own race. Even if you kind of move on, like it's like but you're still supposed to stick together. You know what I'm saying? But black people can't hide it as much as other races can, because guess what? We even go looking for the bullshit online, on World Star Hip Hop and stuff like that. We egg that shit on. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get on YouTube and see black people getting killed every day. Tell you the truth.
Man, so I don't. But one thing I will say about black people, we don't exploit our. If anything, we try to get away from our what we call poor, impoverished mindset people. White people exploit their poor. That's what the whole Ku Klux Klan and the Southern Poverty Act. That's what all that is about. Is the exploitation of white poverty from higher class whites. And black people don't exploit our poor like that. So, I think that we should talk. I think what black people are saying, and white people were smart for stealing black fatigue, because we should really have.
They know a lot of people ain't gonna go read that book and know where it's coming from.
Exactly. So we should go ahead and just call it white fatigue, because we should call it white fatigue, because calling it black fatigue, we originally called it black fatigue. We was really talking about white malaise, where we're just sick and tired. So this how this how it goes. It goes because they're using words that technically apply to healthcare. Fatigue, right? Tiredness.
Yeah, like tiredness, irritable.
Yeah. So
like black nausea, like
so prolonged fatigue leads to a malaise, or just a weakening of the muscles. And then if you keep on from there, you'll end up with this thing called rhabdomyolysis, where you overwork the system and the body so bad that it starts breaking down red blood cells and the organ failure and all kinds of shit. Because you overwork your body past exhaustion and no hydration or no nutrients to go with it. So so you have fatigue, malaise, and then rhabdomyolysis, and that's kind of the track it goes. And now you're starting to hear people say words like malaise, where I have black malaise now. No, man. No, dog. Black people are pretty much at rhabdo with white people. We have ran, we have worked, we have learned to the point where it has physically hurt us. We have assimilated to the point where it has physically hurt us. So I think that black people are way more advanced in and call out the problems of dealing with other races. White people are new to being victims. White people are new to victimization.
I mean, every 7 years they kind of flip it. You know what I'm saying? Every 7 years they kind of, hey, we're tired of y'all shit. Get out. They gotta turn it on. They gotta turn it. They gotta turn it when they ready. You know what I'm saying? Honestly.
But the problem is, while they're trying to get us out, America's trying to get them out. America could fix I'm gonna tell you, I think
But see,
America
that's
can
why they
fix.
turn it on us. It's like hot potato. They're trying to, kind of pass it off to us.
I think America could fix its economy if it had less American whites. I'm gonna tell you why. The American whites are overwhelmingly in debt and live credit card to credit card. You talking about living paycheck to paycheck? They
Right.
live in credit card to credit card. Forget a paycheck to paycheck.
Right. But that's
And
that's
you,
the American way. Borrow money.
so white America overall does not have the money we think they have. They have the line of credit. They do have the line of credit that we think they have, but they don't have the money we think they have.
Yeah, they
And
leverage. They leverage.
they're leveraging, right?
Yeah.
So what America is saying is we need. That's why America would right now. America right now would rather have the indentured servitude white than the American white. They'd rather have the Ukrainian, the South African, because in their mind,
'Cause
those
that's
white
all
people
they're
are
sending over there. I know a white South African that's going over there right now. I know a lot of them. They're sending over the white
it's
South
cheaper.
Africans, not the black ones. Yeah.
It's cheaper and more efficient to have one of those white people that can build that they have to work and build their way
But
up.
that's the Elon play though. That's not
That's the Elon play. That's why
Trump play.
Elon want.
Yeah.
That's why Elon would rather have them, these South Africans, these Indians, and these Ukrainians, than white Americans. Ain't nobody really interested in hiring a white American right now. In tech, food, healthcare,
Mm.
the oil industry, trucking industry. Why you got so many truckers right now with hijabs on? And Donald Trump had to try to change the damn law, and the truckers got to speak English now. It's because people are literally tired of trying to use their white dollars to pay white people. For them to only live credit card to credit card, 'cause they overexpand themselves, which is
So you're
ultimately
saying
affecting the
that?
whole country.
So you're saying that America is actively whitewashing a good amount of white people.
Because it's financially they financially have to do it. Think about how many white people own. Think about how many white people have student loan debt, delinquent on their mortgage,
Right.
got all these big ass pickup trucks that they barely making the payments on. White people, I'm not hating on white people. I'm not hating on white people, dog.
Right.
But they have so much financial debt in this country. You might almost have to wash it clean and get new whites.
Yeah, to
South
make it.
African whites are not going to spend money like white Americans.
And they believe
Ukrainians,
and they believe in the American dream more than a lot of the spoiled white Americans that's here too that know they're getting ripped off.
exactly. White America right now is at the point where this black fatigue stuff is really hiding behind the powers. They really trying to speak to the powers that be. They're like, well, upper class white people, y'all done let all these black people get jobs. Y'all let all these black people move into our neighborhoods. Y'all let all these black people have upper
Mobility.
more mobility. Because when black people was in the hood and killing each other and selling drugs and all that kind of stuff, you didn't hear nothing about no black fatigue.
So what do you think about this white woman right here calling it out and dog whistling about it? What do you think about the opposing side?
Of white people calling out what white people are really doing.
Yeah, like this young lady right here.
She's comfortable enough to do it. She's a white person that's actually done something with her whiteness in America, so she's found herself in a comfortable enough position. I guarantee the white woman is saying that she's not one of those white people that live credit card to credit card or paycheck to paycheck. I guarantee you she's not one of those white people. That's why she has the comfort of saying it.
And what you will see too is the white middle class probably call it out too because they got to go out and make an honest dollar, and a lot of that stuff they're getting pressure from the top and the bottom.
That's who's living credit card to credit card is middle class white America. That's literally who's living credit card to credit card.
Okay.
It ain't poor whites. It's not poor white people are not living credit card to credit card. Poor white people got better. Believe it or not, I believe that poor white people got better spending habits than middle class white people.
Come on, Pastor. Come on, stop playing. No, I think I know what you're talking about. Don't you like the cutting coupons and finding the deals and loopholes and stuff like that? That's what you mean?
Yeah, like all those like people that all the people that was heavily couponing, thrift shopping, going to yard sales every Saturday. That's lower class whites, and I think that they are some money. It's
Bro,
middle class.
even you can't say that shit with a straight face, bro.
No, so even though I know it sounds crazy, but when I see middle class white people buying
Oh
these
God.
Z71 pickup trucks, I'm like, yo, y'all know y'all can't really afford that truck, dog.
Yeah.
And then they not using that truck to its utility. Down here in Dallas, we got a bunch of white boys riding around here in these expensive ass pickup trucks. They're not utilizing them trucks, man. You let a poor white man get that truck, he'll utilize it better. I really would champion. Why do you think America is bringing in poor whites and not more middle class whites? Because
More
they know they
Cybertrucks.
can do.
More
Huh?
Cybertrucks. More Cybertrucks, man.
No, hell no. Poor white people ain't buying Cybertrucks. That's
Yeah, I know that.
dumbass middle.
I'm saying that with the new South Africans coming in, they gonna get some more Cybertrucks, man. You know.
Nah, them South.
This conversation is a definition of black fatigue. But nah, man, there's a lot of whitewashing going on, y'all. But nah, but go ahead, Pastor. What were you saying?
Nah, but like these white people gonna get them South Africans gonna get over here and they gonna get them an old ass Ford dually truck and they gonna drive that shit. They gonna try to because they're not highly skilled. These are not highly skilled white people. Okay, we're not bringing in no engineers, no
They're
architects, no
actually older too.
surgeons,
I've noticed that. Like these guys are in their like 40s, 50s.
40s and 50s.
Yeah, yeah.
So these are white people that got to come in and get it and had to get it from the mud.
Like
And
regular healthcare.
America can do more with those white people coming in getting it from the mud than these entitled. I'm not paying my student loan back. Credit card to credit card, middle and upper middle white people.
Well, that's another
Like
thing
they,
that people are talking about. I've been talking about it since the pandemic and before. That America does have an entitlement problem, but that's patriotism. That's a part of being a patriot, American patriot at least.
entitlement. Nah, your patriotism is supposed to give you a sense of pride in your nation. I don't know about, but then if you have pride in
But
it,
America, but everybody has some type of entitlement
entitlement, yeah,
on their soil.
yeah,
Yeah, but like,
I agree. Nah, I take that back. I agree.
yeah, I mean, in America is an isolated incident. It's not like there's like other countries surrounded it where they're like, hey, well, I just don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're supposed to feel like that. If anybody, you know. So my thing is,
Hold on, hold on, hold on,
what's
hold
up,
on, yo.
Fighter?
You should fighter a hater, yo. Fighter, nigga. I hope your tooth never come back, nigga.
Y'all killing me.
My.
Shout outs to Fighter in the building, man. Come up if you get the chance, man. But
Yeah,
yeah,
tell that. That one tooth nigga, man. I can't believe he said that. I don't have look, yo. I don't have a problem with white people that are doing better than me, right? And and like I said, white people that are doing better than me aren't who America's trying to get rid of. They trying to get rid of middle and high middle class white people that are over entitled, live credit card to credit card, and aren't truly invested in this country. They're just staying afloat in this country. That's what I meant by that.
but I mean, the fucked up part is that they created that, and I mean, you got a lot of white people. I've showed y'all. Grant Cardone even said, you know, if you're white and you're not taking advantage of certain things, you're dumb. You know, so you even got white people that's like, fuck it, look, take advantage of your you know what I'm saying, of your white privilege. especially in hard times like this. Why would you live like that? Take advantage of it. It's open there for you and stuff like that. He had to say, look, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm just gonna admit it. The white people have an upper hand, and they're not taking a lot of them ain't taking advantage of it.
They're not. They're waiting on other white people to give them an opportunity. And other white people is like, if y'all are waiting on me to give y'all an opportunity rather than creating one as white people, then I might as well give some white people that actually deserve an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
but
basically what he was saying. Yeah.
The problem with this though, Kuda, is this ain't new. This ain't new at all. The evangelical church down here in Texas has been bringing South Africans over for a while, like almost like 20 years now.
Well, a lot of black people don't even know that there's white South Africans. Like, that's still a new concept to people. Like, people finding out, especially Negroes finding out Elon, being a... It's only because he's a billionaire, honestly, and some of the stuff that he created and stuff. But yeah,
But yeah, the church knew about the church knew what was going on over there a long time ago, and it wasn't that G word that they keep saying. It's just that it's just those people got fed up and was willing to pass laws and potentially fight back to get the land. So anyway, white people in America, the evangelicals, knew about this over 20 years ago. And they were trying to bring these South Africans over here. Matter of fact, the Episcopalian Church even joined in on trying to bring South Africans over here. They said these people are more. Now, this is what they said. They said these people are more entitled than they're more entitled than you may think. They're absurd. They're lazy. They don't want to work hard, and they come to America for a welfare state. They don't come here. They're not. So that's going to be the big surprise of bringing these South Africans here. They're just going to get more of what they already got. Now, theoretically, do I want to think that these South Africans are going to come here and do good? I would like to think they are, but white people that have already been bringing them over here and said that they don't do good.
Well,
white people say, yeah.
We'll see this year to see how they like really fit in with the society there nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Even though with the acceptance of Elon and stuff like that, so that we'll kind of get I think.
Well, white people said that they're lazy as hell. They don't work that hard. They're not smart. They're not skilled, and a lot of them aren't even farmers over there in Africa. They're not. So like when you keep livestock, the people tend to call you a farmer. That's husbandry, keeping livestock. But I mean, you can argue if that's farming or not. That's either here nor there. But
well, livestock is technically farming.
Yeah. It's technically farming, but I look at farming as I look at farming as you got to put some plants in the ground, dog. You got to put something in the ground, dog.
The plant is still considered livestock,
Yeah. It's still considered produce is still considered a form of livestock. I'll give you that.
Yeah, no, I mean what you said is true. I mean it's technically the definition of farming.
Mm-hmm. But the thing about it, they say these people aren't even good farmers. That's like, what the fuck?
You gotta. I guess the age and because I think these are regular like civilians there. They're just kind of rescuing them from their circumstances because it's fucked up over there and stuff like that. They're kind of looking for different avenues and stuff, and they're looking for Elon to really look out for them. So this is the Elon play. So it's like, okay, it makes sense.
Elon and Peter Thiel from Palantir that own that defense company. But check this though. Those, like you said, I agree with you. Those are probably just regular white Americans that are suffering from white on white crime in South Africa. It's the upper class Afrikaans that's keeping those white people poor. Yeah. It's not other black people. It's not black South Africans that's keeping those white people poor. It's higher up white people.
Even black South Africans over there know what the hell would happen if you lay finger on one of them. So it's like it's not
exactly because their money is called the Kruger Gang or the Kruger Gang or something like that. What's it called?
I don't know. I know that the ZAR is used in I'm not sure. I kind of really.
I know because South Africa has silver and gold, and I think they call it a Kruger or some shit like that. I got some of it.
It probably is the Krug, yeah. But I
It's
know
called
they
a
have
Krug.
this.
Yeah, I got some of them.
Yeah, I know they have the Czar though. I know the Czar is one of their,
And I'm probably misspelling it I'm probably mispronunciating like a motherfucker. So Toya know what I'm saying. She might can put it in the chat. But I might be mispronunciating it. Y'all get it. But see, thing about it is, so that's who they running from. And you think Elon Musk is not about to give not one of them South Africans a damn job, dog?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was gonna say. You might see more cyber trucks. Kind of was a
What
joke.
could,
But
what
kind
is
of
a
for real.
South African going to do at SpaceX?
He could translate to Elon, make him feel like he at home. I don't know, man. What's going on, Black Manosphere? And then we're gonna jump into this real quick, and then we'll jump into Anton over on Jason Whitlock's show. So that should be fun. You guys can take a crack at that also. He said, "Kuda, people tired of black people who crying all damn day." If you look at the internet and what's going on today, though, Finder, everybody crying about something.
Actually, white people are crying the most right now. They
Yeah, they're
crying
crying the
about
most since that Austin Metcalf case.
they're crying about they're crying about Carmelo and Austin. They crying about the small stash. They crying about H1B visas. They crying about Trump. They crying about eggs, groceries, cost of housing. They crying about there ain't enough white babies. White people gotta
Crying about China, the fentanyl deal.
China fentanyl. Y'all look, this what's up, cynical one? This is like, let me tell you, black people are not crying. We're whimpering. We're whimpering. We're whining. We're whining. Okay, we're whining. Okay, I will agree that black people are some whiners, but damn, white people are straight up sobbing right now. They are straight up like hysterical crying right now, dog. Quit that shit.
Well, the world's not used to them crying, and it's like, well, who do they expect to answer? It's like, what are black people supposed to help y'all? Or you know what I'm saying? The reason why they go after black people, though, in certain cases, is damn near all races go after black people, though. Because I'm not gonna lie, we're the perfect target. It's like, at least
they're
married. Black people, like, at least we not fucked up like them. So it's like,
their marriage rates is in the trash. White people are now telling their kids not to go to college.
A lot of unsavory stuff is going on with white people.
Like, white people why are white people telling their kids not to go to college now? It's not worth it. Like, white people, y'all know y'all ain't that desperate.
Well, college is a money grab now. It's been a money grab.
Yeah, but it's a good money grab. Because like they keep talking about some.
No,
white people crying.
The world is changing so rapidly, bro. You're kind of dumb if you go to college thinking that it's gonna be the same in 4 years. And I've been saying this for the longest time since technology started booming. The world be changing. It's gonna be a completely different world. And it don't matter if you switch your major a couple of times and end up in the right major. It's like, dang, you still gotta chase the unicorn once you get out of college.
Well, I mean, this way, I actually go back to what college
is teaching these kids now.
Well, I go back to what college is originally for. I don't think college is actually to get you a good job. I think college is to help you expand your mind and help with your thinking capabilities, or help with your imagination, or
right.
it's supposed to help expand your mind.
But the thing is, because you can sit there and love college, you can love the curriculum, you can love what you're learning, but the thing is that it has to be about the money due to that big ass price tag that they put at the end of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's the point. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I agree. Now that I agree because
if it wasn't about the money at first, that big ass price tag made it about the money. People go to school just to pay college.
And I agree with you. When college first started, it wasn't about so much the money, because you could actually go to college. You can go to college, work. You can, man, people. my uncle telling me that he had a damn Mustang that he bought a brand new Mustang when he was in college.
Yeah, like people were
And I was
buying
like, how the
houses.
fuck?
They were buying houses while they were in college.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. So I agree with you. College has became too
yeah,
expensive.
once that price tag got put on the end of it, and the day after you graduate, you owe them niggas. It's like, yeah, we need to make some money. You know.
Nah, I'm over there in the white. Nah, I'm over there in the whites. I'm over there. I'm over there in the white. I'm over there in the whites. I'm over there on white YouTube all the time. White people are complaining about everything except for what white people need to do. There's only like one content creator over there in the white sector that's telling white people we don't need to worry. We need to quit. Y'all complaining about the blacks too much. Y'all complaining about the small stashes too much.
They're not trying
We
to hear
have
that
to,
pull themselves up by the bootstrap talk, though.
and
They're
that's
not
what he's
trying to hear
saying.
that.
And
Yeah.
that's what he's saying. He like white people. He like rich whites and poor whites have to figure out how to get along. The white people are having the same argument that we're having as black people. White people are realizing
But in a different capacity though, because they actually really control some shit.
in a way different capacity because middle class and poor white people are like upper class white people. What are y'all doing? Why are y'all bringing these foreign whites, these foreign people in? Why are y'all making houses so expensive?
Because they need some type of loyalty there. Like you can't expect Americans to be loyalty with the stuff that they've been seeing in the past 5 years, bro. You know. And then you got the white millennials moving into the workspace. That's another headache for them. You know, so it's gonna get interesting. You know, the shit is gonna get interesting.
Now, what's going to get interesting is when we start seeing white people are at crash out phase. They close. They're not there. They're not there, but they're getting closer and closer and closer to crash out. We're going to start seeing more Dylan Roofs, more that kind of stuff. What up, Link? Yeah, white people are damn near at crash out levels. They own the internet. They all on Piers Morgan saying, "Why come I can't say nigga?"
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. When times get hard, at least they got a word to rely on. I mean, at least when times get hard for us, we can say nigga all day.
But that word ain't that. That word is not feeling it's not slowing the bleeding. Because if they can say, let's say they can't say nigga, they're not going to be able to say the K word.
A little bit of ass whipping too during hard times, like you know.
They're not going to be able to say the K word towards small stashes. The Jewish people, they'll never call them the K word. They'll never. So they might be able to talk a little bit of trash about Jewish people, but they'll never say the K word.
But this
and that's what they really want to say. Nigga is not. They will settle for saying nigga, but they want to say the K word.
That's what I'm trying to say. Kanye is fucking powerful at this point because the thing is that he's more free than them, which is hilarious in a way. You know, Piers Morgan is the last person to be running panels talking about some people are racist. And it's like, Piers, Piers, you know. Kanye has a lot of freedom actually, but. All right, let's get to the next one. Hold on, let's finish what she has to say real quick.
White women having no distress tolerance and no ability or desire to want to face their own racism and unpack it. It's saying, I, the protected white woman, have low emotional literacy and fragile feelings. And being reminded of my privilege and the fragility of my feelings, that's black people's fault. That is what black fatigue means when conservatives say it. That's what that woman meant when she used the term black fatigue.
But this is interesting, though. When the white woman panics, usually America is, like, quick to pacify and rush to their aid. Like, what?
Like so many other systemic problems in our culture, so much discrimination, so much injustice, it all ties back to the institutions of white supremacy and patriarchy, which absolutely perpetuate.
She's spilling the beans, you know? It's crazy that I gotta get on here and sound like I'm racist to just say this shit when y'all haven't even heard the worst yet, you know? Half of what I know. But she's literally saying what I'm saying.
She is, and the thing about it is,
but a lot of white women like this know that they're not gonna be included, even if that was the case. So it's like, fuck it. She don't got nothing to lose. But yeah, go ahead.
society is getting tired of fronting the bill for white.
Hold on. What K word are y'all talking about? Tassa, can you put that in the private chat? The K word you're talking about? My bad. But go ahead.
Hold on, I'm just gonna put it in the you know the K word.
I wonder if it's the same K word I'm thinking.
The one that don't nobody say no more.
I don't know. I'm getting old, y'all. I don't know.
Let's see. Private chat. It won't let me put nothing in the private chat. I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it one time.
Spell it out.
I can't spell that well.
Come on.
I can't spell that well. K-I-T-E, I think. You fly them. Every father has flown a kite.
Okay, I know
with his child.
About. Okay. That's like, I'm thinking of jail when I hear that. Okay, I know what you're saying. Okay, yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay. Wow. Okay, yeah, no, you're right. I agree.
No, white people in real life, white people want to say that word. That's one word. You keep hearing them say, why we can't say the N word? That's one word that they can't say. The nigger and nigga, that is pronounced because white people were saying it.
Did you hear
white people could not.
Latest song? Stoic. Let me hear. Did you hear Kanye's latest song?
Oh hell yeah, I heard that shit. Yeah.
That's
hell yeah.
I don't want to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Because I listen to that shit on repeat. I put that shit on repeat and listen to that shit like 5 times on the regular. I don't agree with it because I don't have hate for a certain race of people, but that shit is crazy.
I don't think it's a hateful song.
I listened to it that one little time and it was stuck in my head. I was like, dang, you know. I remembered exactly why chanting is banned from the spiritual world. You know.
Well, I mean, like I said, yo, like the Kanye West next song need to actually. I don't know somebody to actually say that word. Because the N word, no one is afraid to say that shit. All these kids walk around calling each other the N word. Black people call each other the N word. The N word is heavily used in American society. But what's not used in American society is that other word. And we do feel some type of way. If everybody feels some type of way about the small stash and how much power they got over control they got over money, industries, then why won't you say that word? You scared to call them that. You'll call them a Jew. You'll call them small stash. You'll call them all kinds of names, but you won't call them that.
Well, I mean, also too, you gotta blame black people because we've made it influential. But yeah, Interesting. All right, let's get into this real quick. And let me know if you guys want to chime in. Like I said, the chat is open. The panel is open. Hold on. Wrong video. Not a Goodyear tire. Oh my God, this is black fatigue all the way. Oh my God. Not a tire, man. Come on, man.
I mean, they got a couple of tires, tied them together like a boat, like a raft. But
oh my God.
Them niggas broke down the old.
Yesterday.
Pastor, why you, out of all shows you choose to come up on, why do you... Yo, look, every sense of the title, man. Shout outs to Pastor $40, man. Yo, look, y'all hit the like button, support the show. This is crazy. Shout outs to Pastor $40, man. Living up to the title. Let's get it. All right, let's see what Jason is talking about. All right, let's go. Have you seen this, by the way?
No, I haven't seen it. Nah.
Okay. Let's go.
And before I do that, I want to thank our great friends, one of our newest sponsors, Relief Factor. Do you wake up every morning wondering how pain is going to affect your day? Deborah Ann from
You get a better deal with hempforfitness.com, y'all.
Of black fatigue. Is this a...
They were saying that he was on there agreeing with Dr. Boyce Watkins. We might have an Anton Boyce Watkins thing going soon.
Real concept, or is it just something that's happening, or is it just a social media hashtag?
No, it's something that's been bubbling up behind the scenes for an extended period of time now. And I don't even
Anton, you got to turn your microphone on. His microphone ain't even on.
For us to categorize it, I think that it's more or less about...
See, I know what type of mics that y'all have, and I've recommended in the space for a long time. His microphone ain't even on. Fuck, man.
N-word fatigue. And I don't know, I'm not going to go as incendiary as I would usually go on my own platform. But I think that it's N-word fatigue because all cultures don't necessarily deal with everybody within their culture and then categorize or become responsible for everything within a culture, right? When you look at Asian culture or you travel overseas or you go to Japan or you go to some of these other places, there are entire cities that are designated for the outcasts or for the people that can't participate in society, and for them to hold themselves accountable and to truly be able to do things that is conducive for the group as a whole. But we are one of the very few cultures, especially here in the United States of America, where we find ourselves somehow, some way having to patronize black businesses that's not necessarily anybody that we would rock with, or we find out later that somebody is not doing what they're supposed to do, or somehow we're not invited to the barbecue if we don't find ourselves wearing bonnets at the airport, or when somebody is loud, we can't be very matter of fact and direct and holding ourselves accountable. We celebrate the most degenerate of our society, whether it be our music or the things that we really champion and make famous on social media. And the minute that we then say that we want to have a difference of opinion, which diversity, equity, and inclusion is something that we champion within the black community, even though it doesn't really benefit black people as a whole, but it has benefited white women more than anybody else. Diversity of thought is only conducive if it's somebody that agrees with you, because if somebody like myself that is a conservative or a Republican, regardless of what your results are, married for over 20 years, successfully married, no children out of wedlock, never had an arrest, no problems, no trouble. But when you contribute into your economy and you stay home in Detroit, Michigan, and you do the thing that's right, somehow you get called a bootlicker or a coon. So, what I've seen from people that don't look like us is that they are tired of acquiescing or acting like that there's not a real issue with black people when we are some of the most racist people that we've seen on the face of this earth. And if you go into any black household or living room, one of the first things that they're gonna tell a black man is make sure you don't bring a white woman home. One of the first things that they're gonna say is make sure that you vote for Democrats regardless of whether we are conservative in how we live our lives. So what white people are finally starting to do is get the courage to say, nah, we don't necessarily agree with you, And sometimes it comes out in some of the most incendiary ways, like the whole Shiloh situation.
Right, 1,000.
But now you're seeing an overcorrection from a long time of bad behavior from a lot of Black people.
Boys, I'm going to ask you the same question, but I'm going to put a little twist on it. Is Black fatigue real, or is it just a social media hashtag? And if it is real, are white people justified for having it?
Is it real? I think that things are real if you want them to be real. You know, I know Black fatigue because I've experienced that. I have a type of Black fatigue that I still have to confront, but it's not from the things that are listed under the standard definition. From what I saw, Black fatigue is rooted in the feelings about systematic racism, microaggressions, you know, things that tend to be very political. Like I saw George Floyd get killed and it traumatized me because I could get killed by the police. I think that you can shape a term like that in the way that you want without and acknowledge the realities of being Black without falling into these political traps. I don't trust a term like Black fatigue because it comes laced with too many left-wing ideologies that are just these talking points that they use to get our votes every November for politicians that never earn those votes. So also the threat of Black fatigue is that if you get too caught up in that definition and you define yourself by that, then you have labeled yourself a victim without actually also labeling yourself as a problem solver. You know, so I can identify.
So we gotta, you know, you gotta be kind of careful with these conversations. Well, I guess like the Boyce Watkins and the Tariq Nasheeds and stuff like that too, because can't be too tired of Black people.
They keep talking about them, and you know what? This is the most balanced take that Boyce Watkins has given in a long time. He not simping. He not, you know, getting along to get along. He is literally giving a very balanced commentary. I'm actually happy to. I'm actually proud of Boyce Watkins for giving his for standing on balance, nigga. Forget standing on business, standing on balance, yo. And he's being real balanced right now.
With a lot of those feelings. I can identify with the microaggressions. I can identify with maybe some issues in terms of dealing with cops and the racial disparities. I believe that they're very real, but I was also raised in a family that says, if you don't like your reality, you should be empowered to change it. And one of the ways that we harm our own people is when we are so determined to put people in a victim box that we remind them of their powerlessness. And in fact, I'll say this: if you give a child a wheelchair before he ever learns how to walk, then he'll never learn how to use his legs. And that's the issue. And this is why I think if you're going to talk about any form of disparity or any issues that we deal with being Black, I think everybody on this panel knows that we're Black, and we know that being Black is different. It's a different kind of experience. But when we deal with that, it must be dealt in a way that's healthy. I don't feel that this is the healthiest way to approach these issues.
Boyce, I'm going to ask you a follow-up. I want to ask you a follow-up that's a little bit, I don't want to go too far away from the Black fatigue, but you analogized yourself to some degree that you saw George Floyd die and you could see yourself dying in the same way. I don't believe that. I don't think that's a fair analogy. I don't think Boyce Watkins.
If it sounded that way, that wasn't what I intended to say. Let's just be clear. George Floyd and I'm hearing you on that. I watched the detailed video of how Floyd was killed. Most Black men would not die the same way. Remember, you're talking to the son of a police officer. I got best friends. I went to kindergarten with who are cops. I've seen the range. I've seen the corrupt cops. I've seen the good cops. I've seen everything in between. And didn't mean to jump in and interrupt you on that, but I'll say that, no, when I saw the way George Floyd died, I wasn't happy with the way George Floyd was eulogized or sort of elevated into this symbolic figure that's supposed to represent Black people compared to Martin Luther King and all this other silliness that they did. That was 100% political. So you are correct. And in fact, if you look at George Floyd's criminal history, I can never identify with a black man who will put a knife to a pregnant woman's stomach. I'm not going to align myself with that. So to your point, what I can identify with is that I've known men who were not terrible men, who made mistakes when they were young, who then spent 25 years in prison, and that was too much, right? So the disparities are real, but the George Floyd incident, not only was that an inaccurate portrayal of the experience of most black men, but it also didn't accomplish anything. It just achieved just enough symbolism for the Democrats to get their votes. And that's the part that ends up offending me. So my apologies for interrupting you.
No. My voice isn't nearly as important today as hearing from you all. Virgil, you go ahead and chime in here on the questions I've asked for so far and any reaction to any of it.
No, I think you're spot on. One of the things that I agree with what Anton said, and I think it was really Chris Rock back in, I think it was 96 in his comedic sketch where he talked about you got black folks and then you got the N-words. And the N-words are always the ones who mess things up for everybody else. You go to the barbecue, everybody's having a good time, and then the N-words show up and then they wreck everything for everybody. I think that's more of what you're seeing being displayed on social media. And what social media has done is it's really stripped away the veil of that reality. Chris Rock was talking about it in 1996. But what we're seeing now with the advent of social media is everybody now has ticket.
That's I love black people, but I hate niggas. That's that shit.
To see the chaos at the picnic table, right? At the barbecue. They get a chance to see it firsthand, and they're sick and tired of it. It was Van Jones who coined the term white lash once Trump got elected. I think what we're seeing in social media is a black lash. It's actually blacks and whites who are getting sick and tired of every time they open up their social media app, seeing some breakout fight at a Target or something happening at a Carnival Cruise event where folks are arrested. You scroll your feed, and every time you see something chaotic like that, your immediate thought, whether you voice it out loud or not, is there go them, and followed by N-words, and you keep pressing on. I think it's real. I think it's a reality. I understand the desire to separate it from black culture or black people altogether, because not every black person acts like that. Not every black person is engaged in that kind of behavior. There are some of us who, the vast majority, who are dignified, and you're seeing because of, again, the proliferation of social media, you get a first-hand view, you get a front row seat to the actual chaos, and that's what actually gets clicks. But I also think, and I'll be brief here, I also think we as a culture, as a group of people who see these kinds of things, have to bring shame back.
Yeah, it's a little bit low, my bad. What I was saying was, that's what Chris Rock said back in the day. I love black people, but I hate niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Man, these niggas.
1,000 son.
These niggas is crazy, right? I hate that analogy that he gave with the cookout. When you at the cookout, the family reunion, there ain't nobody that come up to there and tear it up. He talking about the drunk ass uncles.
Yeah.
We okay. We know they coming.
But black people look for that, and like what I was saying too, it's like they put a focus on that type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? They put a focus on that type of behavior. Shout outs to Cut to the Chase. Yeah, Jason Whitlock had Anton on his show. And so you got Anton, you got Boyce Watkins, and Jason. I don't know who the other two brothers and sisters are. Shout outs to Cut to the Chase in the building. Okay, I got you, Stoic. And yeah. Y'all please hit the like button, support the show. Having a really good show today. Definitely hit the like button, support the show. Let's get back into it. It's Player Talk Radio.
And have to bring shame back into the culture as something that's a course corrective for bad behavior in culture. We need to be the ones at the front line of saying that is ghetto, and we don't accept it, we don't agree with it, we don't believe it. That's not how we're wired. We need to do better. And we need to, and we need not to be so frightened when others pick up on it. Whites, Hispanics, and other cultures pick up on that same kind of rhetoric, because it shouldn't be about you being able to act crazy because of the color of your skin. You should be called to.
I'm not even gonna lie. I agree with that. 1,000 Sons. He said, if anything, black businesses and scholars, black businesses and business class and scholars have let businesses class and scholars have let the black community down. Yeah, just the other day they were going in on Wallow for saying what he was saying about black businesses and stuff like that, which I knew exactly what Wallow was talking about. Make your business good. Nobody gives a damn about if it's black, even black people. Just make your business good. Be under the radar, make your business good. You know what I'm saying? First, you know, and then we'll throw in the black shit later. And niggas was going in on him. He talking about us. It's like, these are people that don't even do business with black people. And he's like, yeah, to sidestep all of that, just make your business so good that people just do business with you, you know, and they're not worried about the, here's the link. My bad, I put the wrong link. I put the right link. I put the Cash App link in the chat. Here's the link to join the panel, guys. This Player Talk Radio. Shout outs to everybody here. We got Pastor $40. You about to say something, Pastor, before we get back into it?
Man, you know, the fact that we are letting Anton, Boyce Watkins, and Jason Whitlock have this conversation. So, you know what, man? I think they need to expand. You know what I like to see? I'm not mad at Jason Whitlock, Anton, and Boyce having this conversation, but they need to add like Mason Cameron.
God, that would that would go so far downhill, man. You know.
Matter of fact, throw Ray J up there too to represent all communities.
Oh my God! You might as well put Fleece Johnson up there, man.
Hey, I'm surprised Anton didn't bring Fleece.
He trying to distance himself from that Fleece Johnson shit, but nah, you were promoting that too now, you know, in the black community. So, hey, let's get it.
To acting rightly and acting in a socially cohesive manner with the rest of society.
Shamika, I want to ask you this, and you can respond to anything you've heard so far, but I get the Chris Rock bit, and I get the argument that, hey, there's black people and there's ninjas, but it feels like black people spend a lot of energy defending ninjas, and while still trying to distance themselves from them, but it's like there's a part of that ninja culture that we all want just enough in us. We want to know every rap song that denigrates us. We idolize every rapper that denigrates us. And so there seems to be an affinity and a natural instinct to defend ninjas at every turn. And that's how you end up with statues of George Floyd and this belief that, you know, he was just this harmless guy that got killed by Derek Chauvin. And so there seems to be a reluctance from black people to distance themselves from ninjas.
I agree, Jason. I think that what it is there's still this idea that we don't want white people to know what's going on. So there's this, not necessarily defending it. I know it comes across that way, but don't tell anybody it exists. Let's not pretend like this is real. Shh, let's keep it quiet, because there's this idea that it'll make all of us look bad. I agree with Virgil when he says it's time to get back to shaming them. It's time to shame those, for me, in the grocery store, in their bonnets, in their pajama pants, in their being loud, in their not carrying themselves with.
Y'all talk down on the black manosphere that was talking to those people and covering all of that shit, so I don't know what y'all want.
Black people scared of them damn. Man, let me tell you something. I might keep this shit gangster as hell, dog. Just like white people won't actually come and do nothing to black people because they scared of them. I'm gonna keep it real with you. that woman that's talking right now would not go up to one of those bonnet wearing bras and say a damn thing. Matter of fact, they talk about these ghetto children running around Walmart. She wouldn't tell one of them children to stop and go back where their mama at. Now, a nigga like me, I've done said that shit. I don't give a damn. I stay in South Dallas. I tell, look, though, y'all add. I don't even say nothing to the bonnets, because that bonnet shit don't bother me. But they kids. You know me, the kids be bothering me. When I be seeing these kids running around Walmart, wait, what y'all doing? Where y'all mom at? Go back over to where your mom and daddy are. I say that shit. I don't care. And they mamas and daddies don't say shit to me. Like me. Matter of fact, if they daddies around, you don't even have to say that shit a lot of times. But if it's just them and they mama out and them kids acting out, you say this, you don't put your hands on them, you don't touch them, you don't follow them around. You just see them running around like, go back where your mom at. And then they it's just that simple. But Anton ain't gonna say that. Jason Whitlock ain't gonna say that. Boyce Watkins ain't gonna say that. And you don't have to be mean and nasty and scary about doing that. See, these black people scared of black people. They don't even live around black people. These are type of black people that get a little bit of money and go live on the other side of town. I still stay in South Dallas. I love staying in South Dallas. I love staying out in the Arlington South. I stay in South Dallas. I live in Arlington, live in Fort Worth. I live in all these black areas of these cities. I don't be having no problems with black people and their kids like that, dog. Every now I almost got robbed one time at gunpoint. I ain't gonna lie, that shit happened. And I ain't had my strap on me. He ain't end up getting nothing. He just ended up running off. He ain't shoot me by the grace of God. But I will admit that I have been robbed at gunpoint before, and I ain't had my strap on me at the time. Which is, I'm also glad I didn't have my strap on me at the time, because I would have shot that nigga. Right. And he didn't end up shooting me. I ended up getting away safely. He ended up running off doing something else. So I don't have black, and that could cause me to have black fatigue, supposedly. Man, I ain't got black fatigue because of that.
That could cause you to have survivor's remorse, all kinds of different other stuff, even if you did shoot the man. You know?
So yeah, if I would have shot him, that would have been survivor's remorse. I'm just glad that shit worked out the way it worked out, man. And I will admit that is pretty much the biggest issue that's the biggest thing that ever happened to me living around black people, is getting almost robbed at gunpoint because he didn't take shit.
Yeah, let me ask you something though.
What's going on, Unfriendly Stoic? Jump in. Are you there?
Yeah, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you kind of in and out, but jump in.
Okay, yeah, so I was saying, like, bro was saying that he loved the hood, right? Now, my question to you is, like, what's wrong with, like, moving?
Do you hear him, or is he low to you, Pastor?
I can hear him.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
I'm saying, like, what's wrong with moving to the other side of town, you know? Let's just say, you know, you get yourself some education, you start earning some good money, and you want better for your family. You don't want to be around, you know, bullets flying over your head and things like that. What's wrong with the
well, hold on, but Stoic, it's a double thing, because you have black people saying the same thing, and you have white people saying the same thing. But now, what if the gated community that you're moving in, those white people are saying the same thing, that they're tired of black people in those gated communities? That's their black fatigue.
I mean, if you're bringing certain energy, yeah, I'll be tired of you too.
Yeah, because I see black people go to the suburbs and be riding dirt bikes in their front yard and all kinds of, you know, like Chief Keef move next door to you. I know you're gonna hear something.
See, black people do move into their neighborhoods with the freedom that they had in other neighborhoods. But check this though. So you brought up. So actually, believe it or not, I may not speak like it because I just speak regularly. But I'm a collegiate graduate. I have a degree. I make a decent living. However, I just did not decide to take what money I did make and spend it all on housing, living in a neighborhood that I'll have to shut up and be quiet and get in a corner in. I get the right. I make pretty good. I'm an educated man that makes pretty decent money, that lives in a neighborhood that I can pretty much do as I please. When I pull up to my house, my music can be played as loud as I want. Ain't nobody hating. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, there's more freedom in living in these neighborhoods than living in that neighborhood where there's so many constraints and gates and this, it's so cookie cutter. I'd rather live where I live at. I've been to Plano, Frisco, Allen. There's a whole lot. I forgot that. Yeah, I've been to all those upper class areas in Dallas. I've been in the upper class areas of Austin. It's shit boring as hell, dog. And it's so many constraints and it's dry. And let's stop this shit. Why you think upper class white people go to these little country clubs, these little country bars in Fort Worth to kick back and relax? And that's what, and when they were saying that black people spend so much time trying to cape for hood behavior, they're not caping for hood behavior. They just want to go back somewhere they can relax. And white people do this very same. Everyone is doing this shit. They act like white people just stay in these upper nice quiet neighborhoods all their lives. A lot of them travel to go to little country clubs and country bars and two-step and drink beer and the hee-haw. These rich white people go to the stockyards. The stockyards in Fort Worth is where they line dance and listen to all that country music and yell and scream. Then they get in their car, then they go back to their nice, secluded, quiet neighborhood. But even they looking to relax and let some steam off too.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, like I said, if you go to certain gated communities, which are sundown towns, you see black people there too acting crazy. You know, so it is what it is. Black people in the suburbs act crazy too now. So, you know.
They act crazy, but that shit is not condoned. They act crazy, but it's not condoned. Because I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, so a form of black fatigue is what black people have been doing in North Dallas. There's some projects in North Dallas, and the niggas in North Dallas, they have made areas like the Bishop Arts District or the Gayborhood. They made those places violent as hell now. They used to not be as violent. So I would say that's probably a black fatigue, maybe, if you want to go that route. With some of these niggas do be going to quiet areas and turning up. But I mean, I don't care. I really don't give a damn. Right. You can call me a black apologist. But I don't really, because that's only a couple of niggas. And you know, it ain't a lot.
All right. Hold on, y'all. All right, let's get back into it real quick. And then we're going to do a double header. We're going to come back and I got to share the show. Shout outs to Aunt T. He actually got Dr. Umar's daughter on the line. So I want to see how that goes. Player Talk Radio. Let's get it. Y'all hit the like button, support the show. Hit the Cash App. Hit the PayPal. Hit the coffee store. It's Player Talk.
With dignity and class, the way I'm used to my grandparents and great-grandparents carrying themselves. We have to start calling it out. But as you are well aware that when we do that, we're told we're coons, we're Uncle Toms, we have sold out. That's the idea. And every group of people has a lesser group. Like, we understand that white people have...
I ain't gonna lie, they did curse out Bill Cosby for telling them to pull their pants up. So.
White trash. The thing is, though, they don't go around authenticating themselves according to the white trash, and that's what we do as black people. If
yes,
you
they
don't
do.
Have
that's a lie. This bitch is
amount
stupid.
Of hood or degeneracy, or if you don't celebrate it in some way, they'll say you're not real. You're not keeping it real. You're not authentic. You're not a real black person. And I think that's where the problem is because they actually try to use use that to legitimize the rest of black people, and that's really silly. I love the whole Chris Rock thing, and I'm glad Anton brought that in, because that's what I was thinking. There are black people, and then there are N-words, and what social media has done is it's just brought the N-words to the forefront that everybody can see it. And now we have to stop lying and pretending like it's not a thing, because it is a thing. And it's no longer, shh, don't tell anybody what's in our home. Everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Right, 1,000 Sons.
Anton, we'll circle back to you. You can respond to whatever you want to, but I do want to ask you this follow-up, and the rest of you guys marinate on it, because I'm going to ask you as well. So if there's something you want to respond to, go ahead and do that tightly, and then respond to what is the root cause of the dysfunction that we see over social media and in our communities. What's the root cause?
Can you guys hear me well now? Can y'all hear me better?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So, first of all, I think that the root cause is a destruction of our homes and a destruction of our families. When you couple that with feminism and the fact that we've even championed, and I'm gonna just be very, very frank, when we've put women at the forefront of who we are, which me, I'm scripturally based, I don't even believe women belong on the pulpit. I don't believe that, I hate when I hear people say that we need a partner instead of saying that I want a husband or I want a wife. When we've spent so much time pedestalizing, catering to, and trying to champion to a group of women that will sit there and throw in front of your face that they are the most educated, when in reality they're the most enrolled and the most in debt, and they're the most affected by what we see happening on May 6th, with them now getting garnished and their wages are being removed as a result of them being the most educated in curriculums that we don't even need in society. The minute that we started following them to the polls, the 92%, and we started acquiescing over to them and started telling them that they're the queens of the earth instead of holding them accountable.
Now, this is crazy because, what's going on, Raven? This is crazy because Anton came on as the biggest simp ever. Anton is a huge simp.
He keeps talking about the family unit, but he worrying more about this nigga was chasing what's that island girl Q? He was chasing dead womb broads. He was running around here chasing broads that their uterus don't even work. And he got a whole child. Yeah, I'm about to go. He chasing these women that got unworkable uteruses. And
I mean, but that's what they will do. I mean, when a pack of sisters turn against you, that's when simps and all kinds of different types of brothers in the community wakes up. They're like, oh, you know, you gonna treat me like I haven't fought for you for years and days and weeks and stuff like that. They'll throw you under the bus just to say.
I don't think Anton connected to the black community like that. And that's what I don't like about YouTube. YouTube gives you the ability to send somebody an email or coerce somebody to come onto your platform because you have a larger platform, or you can give them attention, or you give them, or you pay them to come onto your platform. And there's no real ties there, dog. Like, at least when your local news network went out and and covered a story, at least they lived in the same city, you know what I'm saying, dealt with some of the same problems. On YouTube, we don't live close to each other. We don't be having some of the same problems. It's just people trying to gaslight and email and get each other on camera.
But we don't connect by, like, I know what you mean though. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the shit that's going on, the shit that people may be dealing with in Dallas may not be necessarily what's going on in Chicago. And we get to use this internet, we get to use these platforms as if we really know what these people are going through in particular area, and like we actually care, and like we're gonna go there and do anything about it. Man, this shit is just, I'm trying to tell you, it's a big psyop, dog. I think we were doing better I think people were more effective when they were reading their local newspaper and looking at their local news.
And going outside, yeah.
And going outside. People were more effective towards the black community when they read their local newspaper went out and watched their local news and went outside, you were way more effective towards your community than listen to this shit online where niggas is just emailing each other to get somebody on the panel for views.
Well, they're content farming too, so that's another thing too. So, you know, AI is listening to these conversations and getting a lot of intelligence from what we're talking about, whether they include it or not.
For following white women into feminism, which hijacked the civil rights movement. And then at the same time, they went and got a bunch of gay best friends so that they can then have the alphabet community hijack that movement. And we start championing it, which the long-lasting legacy of our president, our former president, Barack Obama, is his champion in the alphabet community. The minute that we started following other people instead of holding down what was best for us in our households was the minute that we started to lose control of what happened, and we started to align ourselves with the Democratic plantation, which will sell us on the idea that we need a handout and that we need to keep it real for the culture. You've seen it in this previous election when Barack Obama sat there and tried to hold black men accountable for not following black women to the polls, and his very wife told the women that they need to ignore their husbands and make sure that they vote differently inside of the voting booth. Right. So I believe personally that the minute that we started following women, the minute that we start allowing for them to take our children out of our households and single parent households, and then they use that in order to pedestalize themselves at their own demise, is literally the foundation of why we find ourselves in this situation today. Because I don't see a lot of black men, honestly, I don't see a lot of black men online complaining about students. I don't see a lot of black men finding themselves at a negative disposition and embarrassing themselves at the rate that I see women. Even though the narrative has been created that black men are having all of these children out of wedlock, the majority of black men take care of their children. The majority of black men take care of business. The majority of black men are participants in their children's lives. As a matter of fact, most black men aren't even really having sex like that. And so what you see now is a women-led society. All of the movies, they then followed suit. You've seen Tyler Perry's and Big Mama's House and all of this stuff. And they follow the plays, and now they all celebrating and they're promoting all of this homosexuality. The reality is that these are the things that are basically combining and then compounding the problems that you see happening in the community. And it's one thing that I disagree with the pastor on, is that I don't think that we need to just focus on shaming. I think that there needs to be a segment of us that divest ourselves and stop even having conversations with people that shouldn't even be in the room with us. I don't have to sit here and substantiate you. I don't have to hold you accountable. I'm gonna just walk away and I'm gonna let you deal with yourself. I don't feel a need to have a conversation with everybody that don't deserve to be in the same room as me.
Yeah.
Well, Boyce, I'm gonna come to you on that because I follow you on social media and you host little conversations with intelligent black people and basically say, you idiots, stay away. You kind of believe in what Anton is talking about here, but I also want to respond to that, but also what do you see as root causes and maybe even root solutions?
Us being afraid to lead our own lives and lead our own community and taking cues from people who are not in our community. I think that politics, when you get openly political in the black community, it is almost always to your demise. I can go to any city in America that's run by Democrats, and I'm gonna see all kinds of problems. I'm gonna see a lot of broken families.
You did, black man.
I'm gonna see a lot of dead children. I'm gonna see a lot of aborted babies. I'm gonna see a lot of economic despair. I'm gonna see where the majority of the children.
So why, when black men were saying this back in the day, he had a problem with it and he was more focused on simping?
Who Anton was Anton simping at one point?
Anton was simping at actually both of these guys, Anton and Boyce.
And Boyce, yeah. Yeah, they both were simping at one point. Antoine, but see, all the women that Anton was simping, see, this is the problem, right? All the women that Anton was simping for gave him no play and went and talked to a nigga. Okay? He was simping for that Island Q girl. I guarantee you she rocking with a nigga. He was simping for Brittany Renner. She with a nigga. So that's his black fatigue come from all the hoes he tried to leave his wife for chose a nigga and over him. So he had to stay with his wife. All the women that Anton would have left his wife for chose a nigga over him. That's what he mad about. If Brittany Renner would have gave Anton some real, play, he would have left his wife. But she went with a nigga like Kevin Gates. That Island Q girl, all them girls, all them women he been flying out and bringing around. If they would have chose him over a nigga.
Yeah, but I mean, this is Renner's last time to really spin the block like that. So she go, she that's what she gonna do.
See, Anton want to be a nigga too. That's the reason why Anton is interviewing Kwame. Was it Kwame? Who was that mayor of Detroit that got caught unaliving people, messing with prostitutes and strippers? Who was it? His name was Kwame? Kilpatrick?
I think so. That name sounds.
Or was it Kwame? Was it Kwame Brown? Not Kwame Brown, the basketball. It was Kwame. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Kilpatrick. I think it is Kilpatrick. Somebody in the chat will put it. But
yeah, Anton was doing interviews with Kwame. The most corrupt. No, it ain't because he's from Detroit. They other politicians in Detroit he could have interviewed, but he interviewed Kwame, one of the most corrupt. Well, I ain't say he the most. He one of the most corrupt mayors of that town. Interviewing Fleece Johnson. Interviewing come on, dog. Anton has interviewed more niggas and has platformed more niggas than Jason Whitlock. Jason Whitlock reached out to Anton. Anton ain't reached out to Jason Whitlock. Anton made all his money. He made all his money with niggas. Niggas. The J Princes, the Freezies. Niggas help. Niggas help that so-called black man become rich. He got to get the fuck out of. How can he have black fatigue? How can Anton have black fatigue out of anybody? Them other niggas, they can argue it, right? Because Jason Whitlock probably does have black fatigue because other black football players probably treated him like shit in the NFL. They probably called him a fat boy, lame. You can't get no women. Other black men probably treated Jason Whitlock like trash in the NFL. Let's keep it real. So I understand his black fatigue. Even Boyce Watkins, we've given Boyce Watkins hell. We have given that nigga hell. So I can understand his black fatigue, but Anton need to get up out of here. He ain't got no black fatigue. Niggas have helped him.
There you have it.
Children in those districts can't even read at grade level.
I agree.
This is not new. If you read books like Powernomics by Dr. Claude Anderson, he'll tell you that this has always been by design in America. Now, here's the issue, though. Just because I choose not to be a Democrat don't mean I'm running into the arms of the Republicans. I have followed Donald Trump very closely. My doctor's in finance, so I've always known about the financial leaders of this country, and he's been one of them. I have a certain amount of admiration for what he's accomplished, but I also know I've never been deluded into believing that this man or any of his friends cares anything about me or my family. I have never seen anything to say otherwise, other than to say that when it comes to me and my family, that is my responsibility. And I also will say this. I'll say that in terms of how that plays out, I think that I can speak as a black man and say that we cannot disconnect ourselves from having played some role in what is the obvious destruction of some elements of our community. While I certainly agree with Anton that you got women out here acting a fool, you have a lot of false beliefs led by feminism. You have women who've been lied to and convinced that they don't need a man, or that aborting their baby is some sort of a badge of honor. I don't agree with any of that. None of that makes logical sense to me. I know a lot of black men who are bona fide certified niggas. I'm talking about men who don't take care of their kids, men who are out here embarrassing the community, men who are out here
No, black fathers are the most involved fathers in their children's lives. But okay.
endorsing behavior that is not masculine on any level. Where I come from, masculinity is accountability and responsibility. But here's the deal. If you're holding others accountable, you must start with yourself. Yes, my wife, I challenge her on a lot of things. But at the same time, I believe I can be married to an educated black woman. And yes, I wanted a black woman. I'm not, with all due respect to anything anyone else says, I'm never going to divest from the black woman because a black woman gave me life. That's just, I'm 10 toes down with it. I'll go down with the ship. But at the same time, though, I'm not following any trend. I'm going to love the hell out of my wife, raise the hell out of my children, handle things on my household economically, educationally, and otherwise, because I've never been convinced at any point in my life that white folks are sitting around worried about me and my kids. In fact, I don't think they should be because I'm not worried about them and their kids. So I think once we learn these basic lessons, I think we're going to be okay. But when you get caught up in all the politics where somehow you think that a magical politician getting elected is going to change everything, you a damn fool because ain't no evidence supporting the idea that that's ever going to work.
You know what's so funny though, boys? If you would have heard a white person speak as candidly as you just did about their women, then we would call them racist.
You're right about that. You are right. I'm gonna tell you, this is where we agree. See, Anton was determined for us to fight sometimes, but I ain't gonna fight him because I listen to the points I agree with, and you're 100% correct. I have never spoken against the freedom of speech of any right-wing white person because here's the problem. The minute they start telling them what they can't say, they turn right back to people like us. They say, well, he says he said white nationalist, so we're gonna ban him. Well, you know what? I'm a Malcolm X guy. I'm a black nationalist. My feeling is, why can't we compete? Just you lay your ideas on the table, I lay mine on the table, and us disagreeing or seeing the world differently doesn't mean I'm somehow a victim of your ideas, and it drives me crazy that you have literally people that claim to be men. You supposedly have testicles attached to your body, but yet you're walking around scared of what another man said about you. That's pathetic to me. I don't understand that at all.
Virgil, hop back in here.
Yeah, I just want to say, one of the things that Anton had mentioned earlier, he talked about, he disagrees about the shame. One of the ways that we see shame, it's just another word for judgment. It really, scripturally speaking, you look at Romans 1:18, where you see the whole world is suppressing the truth of God in unrighteousness. And what does God do? God abandons them. And as a result, they're given over to their own, predilections. They're given over to their own lust. They're given over to their own sin. And that's a judgment of God. That's exactly what we're seeing happening in the black community. As those who are truth tellers, are those who speak about God and about the light, I think we have a responsibility to say what's true. And as a result, let the chips fall where they may. I agree with him in that I don't have to invest. None of the chaos that we saw on social media affects me and my family at the end of the day. I get this idea of black community, but the reality is it doesn't really exist to the degree that we think it does. I'm unaffected by no bills are going unpaid at my home because Tashika and Ray got into a fist fight at the Starbucks or at the Target. My world is not changed or transformed by that. But what it does do is it impacts my children as they see it, and I want to be sure that they know what reality is and how they should live their lives as a result. That's not behavior that we should applaud, that we should celebrate. We shouldn't celebrate in our rap songs and in our dispositions about things. When you talk about root causes, I go back and I think this was something that was said rightly. We talk about the issues of the last 40, 50 years, the feminism issues that are there as a result. I go back all the way to Genesis 1, where there was the fall of mankind. And God, when he comes to Adam, he says to him, why is it that you listen to your wife? You listen to your wife rather than listening to me. And it's not simply listening to women or following women. It's that we abandon God's word. And at the end of the day, we've got to reconnect ourselves to God's word and his truth and what scripture says about how we should live our lives. The more we're doing that, the more we're amplifying that voice, the more we're sharing that truth, the larger impact we'll have, not only on ourselves and our family, which should be the immediate impact, but on the greater culture as a result. Because again, the gospel does impact us individually, but it should also have impact into culture. And we should see transformation as a result. So as we live those things out, we'll see the kind of impact that we should have.
I'm amazed though.
So Shamika,
because,
go ahead.
I disagree. I disagree with that bullshit.
Because most of the people that hold us accountable for what.
All right, go ahead.
Because he was saying that, seeing black people seeing, he don't want his kids to see black people fighting. I disagree with that. I know this may sound crazy, but I disagree with that because I think every child should know that their parents can fight. I think his kids is probably looking at him like, Dada, why come I've never seen you get in nobody's face? Why come I never seen you show force and power? Like every kid got to see their parent, at least their father. They got to see their father as a superhero. And superheroes just don't just come in and just save the day. Them niggas can fight. Them niggas can fight.
Are you saying at some point every kid has to have a healthy dose of fear of their father?
I wouldn't even say fear. I would say respect because they're like, damn, my dad can actually fight. You hear kids go to school and be like, my daddy can beat up your daddy. My daddy can beat up your daddy. Because these kids respect. It's not even fear. It's respect the fact that my daddy can fight. And I don't feel scared because my daddy can fight. If something happening right now, my daddy can fight. And kids love that sense of security. It's not fear. It's a sense of security. And his kids probably don't feel that secure because they're looking at their bitch ass daddy like, I know you can't fight. Like, no, you can't fight. No, you can't, daddy. You can't fight. I can't fight. That's these black niggas. That's these black men though. See, niggas can fight, and that's why I hate this split between black men and niggas. Because black men are niggas and niggas are black men. We are the same, dog. Everybody want to keep separating themselves. I am a nigga, and I am a black man. I am George Floyd.
Very interesting. What's going on, Lord? Lord, my bad. No, you right. I see what you mean, man. All right, let's go. I understand what you mean. You might have to reword it a different way because people are not gonna really understand. But yeah, I think every kid should have a healthy dose of fear of their at least their father, at least, But
it's not fear, Kuda. It's respect. It's respect, Kuda.
Right.
And security.
Respect is a combination of admiration and fear.
Do you think?
I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
A healthy dose of fear. What's going on, Stoic? Jump in, man. We got a little bit of an echo, but jump in, bro.
I was gonna say, do you think Sean Combs' son respect him?
Oh my God.
They never
like him. He's just like him.
I mean, I'm just saying. I don't know if this is true, but I heard that he was wiping, male fluids all over his chest.
Yeah, he cucked out. That I don't know.
Yeah, he made
I told y'all Cassie guilty. I've been said that. I'm like, you need to lock her ass up too. Her sexy ass.
He making Adam look like Iceberg Slim.
The gigolo was like she was the most attractive woman he ever saw. It's a lot of stuff that happened. Like, I gotta do a separate show about that because basically his agency sent them over there to pretend like he's a cop to kind of be disguised or whatever. And when he got to the door and met Cassie, she was like, hey, this is what's going on, blah, blah, blah. You get to be here. Basically, she paid for like a massage type shit. And she said anything else that happens is under your consent and blah, blah, blah. And you couldn't be too open with them, you know, and tell them, hey, you're going to Diddy's house, or you know, all kinds of shit. It's a lot. So I got a lot of stuff to cover with y'all.
You have to get the Diddler experience. They ain't got no cameras in the courtroom, but those sketch artists made Diddy look mad stressed.
Yeah, he grayed up. They say.
He grayed up.
He coming home. The fucking people, them people, dumb as hell.
I think Diddy coming home too.
Dirk coming home too.
Over.
Yeah, Dirk coming home too. All them niggas coming home.
Now Dirk is coming home, but he should. Now Dirk should not come home. That's black fatigue. Dirk is black fatigue.
Oh God. All right, let's get into this real quick, and then we're gonna close out. I'm gonna do a double header. Next show about to be good. Y'all please hit the like button, support the show. Damn. 3 hours and 10 minutes into the madness, y'all. Let's get it. Whew. Uh-oh, pastor drop. God damn, what is going on?
What it is that we're supposed to do as black people, they don't even truly have a standard of what requires you to be considered a part of black culture. So like, for example, if I ask the question and I say, because Boyce, you know, you gave a great example about what your preference is as far as what you are interested in as far as women, and you're never going to not be with a black woman and so on and so forth. And that's cool. I don't have any problems with people's preferences. But if you're a black man and you decide that you want to be a passport bro, or you decide that you want to marry a white woman, does that then remove you from actually being a voice in black culture? No, I see guys on a regular basis, right? For example, that is the leaders, and I'm not going to call any names because this is not my platform, but I see people that have a huge voice and telling black people what they are supposed to do on a regular basis, and they have children out of wedlock, and or they will not even marry a black woman, but at the same time, they'd hold us to a standard that they don't even live by.
Well, now, Anton, now that you on this side, and you know all the manosphere talking points, and you're super red pill now, you gonna meet a different problem, because people gonna hate that they might have to listen to an Anton, even though he just talking about breaking up with his wife and getting Lamborghinis and all kinds of shit. And hopefully word that I said got back to him. Stay with your lady. There ain't nothing out here in these streets. You fucking up. Don't do that. Keep your lady. You know, just probably talk to her, go get your rocks off, and then go back home. Because honestly, you're not missing out on nothing, right? A lot of black people gonna hate that they have to listen to an Anton. I'm not even gonna say they're going to. I'm not gonna say allegedly, but they're not gonna listen to him. It's gonna fall on deaf ears because, oh, you think you can talk down on somebody? You only dated one real person in your life. You've been married the whole time. You don't know what it's like to be out here in the street. You know, they're gonna go through all of that shit. Welcome. You know, why don't y'all run the purple pill sector? You know what I'm saying? Where is the married black men sector? Because y'all having a lot of people sound dumb and stupid in these streets. Because y'all be forgetting that the red pill, half y'all didn't even take the fucking red pill anyway, but y'all be forgetting that the red pill is pro-relationships, pro-marriage. There's no way you can, depending on if you gonna be on some player shit or whatever you talking about. I haven't heard not one piece of player shit from half these niggas in this space, and the other half don't know what the hell they talking about too. And then you gotta focus in a quarter of real niggas that's in my audience, that's on my channel, that'll tell you some real shit and soak up this game that I be dropping. But I'm gonna tell you right now, there's no way you can be pro-relationships and not pro-marriage at some point. So pay attention to who y'all listening to, because like I said, I'm pro-marriage. But I will tell you, there's years to get married, there's better years, and there's horrible years. There's years you should pull the trigger. There's years, hey, even if you're married, there's years where it's like, you gotta weather a storm this year. I'm not gonna be sitting up here trying to tell y'all, like, what's the whole point of women getting their act right and all this other shit, but you're not pro relationships or marriage? Why are you worried about if she can cook or not? You should be swapping them out if that's the case. What's going on, Rayology? Good to see you, player. Welcome to the show. Yeah, America is still blue-pilled as fuck, sort of. Because they're introduced to a lot of stuff they normally wasn't now. But hey. You said it's over until Trump's thinking about offering up money. That's funny as hell. If they start paying people to get married, hey.
Themselves.
Immigrants gonna be coming over like, who's the immigrant now? If they offer Americans money to get married, Americans will become immigrants.
Well, I am very confused, and this is, I think, a sentiment that we then see being communicated from white people, and now they are starting to stand up and they're starting to say exactly what they mean, and they mean what they say. And they are saying, why should we continue to support you or acquiesce over to you or give you a platform? I see that statue over in New York City that actually represents black women, and I think it's an accurate representation of the culture, and then people are getting mad at it because that is how they see you. The director that placed that statue in New York City is a white woman, but their interpretation of what you look like and how you carry yourself is that. And then people will get mad at it because they don't really have a standard in the black community that is truly a reflection of what is good for the rest of the people. So
well, let's go back to
how do we even have a culture?
But let's go back to what you were saying in the beginning about black men who choose to become passport brothers or marry a white woman, things like that. I think people should marry whoever they want to. And I, as a man, I think you have a right to do whatever is going to work best for you. I can't judge that. Where I think that we can do a little bit better as men is you can go marry your white woman, but you ain't got to bash black women on your way out the door. You know, that's the problem. I think that's the thing that I don't like. It's like when you would say, I married a white woman because black women do this and black women do that. No, the black women you chose did that. You can't pick a good woman, so you're taking it out on the world. Go marry your white woman quietly and live your life. Why does it have to be some sort of white supremacist narrative? Like, I married a white woman because they know how to be feminine. They know how to cook. No, my woman can cook. My woman's feminine. My woman loves me. And I didn't pick women like that. So I think the accountability, man, it just has to be across the board. We can't hold others accountable if we can't do it to ourselves.
No, that's not true, boys, because you know that if a man appears, I seen Byron Donalds get attacked by Jasmine Crockett for marrying a white woman quietly because he doesn't even bring that to the forefront. But at the same time, that's something that liberals, Democrats, and women jumped on in order to try to attack him instead of having a conversation about policy and having a conversation about whether or not he truly qualifies for being the governor of Florida. So for us to sit here and act like somebody is attacking black women when in reality they bring it to the forefront of themselves, and we're not going to disregard somebody else's experiences. We're not going to act like it doesn't happen in our community and then label it as an attack on black women, because if somebody says that black men are broke, for some reason I don't get offended because I'm not broke. Right. So usually what you'll see is that a hit dog will holler, and that is the reason why people are tired and they have black fatigue, because the lack of accountability and responsibility, and we want to try to pretend, yes, I have an awesome wife, but it's clear that I'm not talking about her when I hold people that are worse for the community and are single baby mamas accountable for opening up their legs to 3 and 4 different guys and having children out of wedlock. And for me to call it out because that is the majority, we always want to put it back on men. You can fix 99% of all men, hold them accountable and tell them, hey, make sure that you don't sleep with women out of wedlock and have children out of wedlock.
Oh, I didn't know that.
1% of the men, the top 5, the top percent of the men are the ones that having all of the children, with 80 to 90% of the women that's having children out of wedlock.
Now, I
So
agree
if
with you,
one-
but
if-
why,
if-
but why
if-
would
if-
but why
if-
would
hold on,
but why
if-
wouldn't we put
if
but why wouldn't we put a
statistically-
lot of it back on the men though? If men are supposed
Because
to be the
women
leaders,
control access to sex.
Okay, and I do agree with that. I agree with you. I mean, I think the baby mama epidemic, it's a problem. I think we got to honestly address it. We're not doing that. But if men are supposed to be the leaders, then that means that the ball should be passed to you. In a football game, when the team loses, if the quarterback takes responsibility, even if it wasn't his fault, because he said, this is my team, my responsibility, I'll deal with this internally. So I think as men, you are right though. The baby mama epidemic is a problem. A lot of these weak ass young men are coming out of households where they never met a man in their life that really loved them and poured into them. It's really wrecked our whole community. It's not a badge of honor. It's not something we should be proud of. But at the same time, I think that as men, we have to sort of start with us first, right? Because here's what I believe about women. I believe that if you show up and you are a true leader as a masculine man, women will follow that.
Lies.
I don't think you have to ask for respect.
Lies.
I don't think you have to command respect.
Family court law will tell you differently, boys.
No, well, court law, yeah, sure. I did 18 years of child support. I have dealt
you
with
get it
a lot
then.
of the things. But no, what I will say to you though is the court of law doesn't determine
Boys,
if I get to be a man.
look at the way you communicated it. You said I did 18. You looked at it as a prison sentence. You said I
Well,
did
it wasn't
18
fun.
years of child support. So you know, we see women, the same ones that advocated for feminism are advocating against updating family court laws that put you in that prison sentence you just described.
Yeah, but taking care of my daughter was not a prison sentence.
Then why did you say it like that?
Well, because I didn't enjoy the courts intervening in the process. So if you want to debate about the politics of it, I'm with you on that. I don't think the politics work in favor of black men in this country, but I do think we have a lot of latitude in terms of how we address and how we deal with our women. My view is that we can be strong, focused, masculine, do everything we want, but we don't have to put down our women. And that was the only thing I had. I agree with so much of what I know. Kevin Samuels, I know he was a great, smart man, and I know you loved him, and I loved him too. But I said, man, can't you be masculine without us just making it sort of a slugfest?
You did not like Kevin Samuels.
Hold for one.
He went ham on Kevin Samuels. I knew the name was gonna come up. I knew it was coming up. What's going on, Dollar Washington? I knew this shit was coming up. Kevin Samuels pending.
1 second. Stop.
I don't see.
Stop for 1 second. Stop for 1 second. Stop for 1 second, because I'm gonna let boys and boys. We muted you for a second because I'm gonna let you and Anton continue this. I gotta bring Shamika in. We're talking way too much about black women to not let Shamika chime in. And correct me if I'm right or wrong here. Anton, and again, I don't know this, and so I'm asking sincerely. You are married, correct?
I am. I've been married for almost 21 years.
Are you married to a black woman?
I am. I'm married to the person that I went to high school with. I got married at 22 years old. And like I said, we've been married for almost 2 decades. I'm 43 today.
Hold for 1 second. Just give me I'm just short the answers right now. So I just want to be clear with the audience and everybody watching. Anton, Virgil, and Boyce, all three married to black women. I want the audience to know where everybody stands in their home. I just want you to know that. I don't want you to read into it. Now, Shamika, as Shamika's divorced from a black man, and everybody knows, I've played in the snow quite a bit. So I just want everybody to know where everybody is coming from. So I want to be correct. And now I want Shamika to answer this little debate where I probably tend to side with Anton. That hey man, we're some simps and these black women are running over us, and the black men need to step back into a leadership role and tell these women to pipe down and fall in line. I'm Archie Bunker. There's just no question about it. I'm Archie, but I'm a chauvinist patriarch. And that's why I struggle. And because again, if you've listened to my show and listened to me talk, The reason I'm not married is because I was like, man, I fell in love with a couple of white women, and I just couldn't pull the trigger because I wanted my kids to look like me, and I thought I was gonna find this magical black woman that checked all the boxes, didn't have no feminists in her family that I needed to argue with, and any of that. And it just never happened. And so it is what it is. Shamika, my question to you is, Boyce is arguing that black women are unfairly criticized and are way too criticized. Anton is arguing that, like, no, we need to criticize these women and get them back in line. And I don't want to put words in Anton's mouth, but that's how I take the gist of his argument. Shamika, where do you stand on any of that?
Well, first of all, we know that I'll be the only one on this panel that won't have to land my plane, which is fine because I shouldn't be flying one to start with. I do think Boyce has a point when he said it goes back to the men, only because when God approached Adam in the garden, he went to Adam for Adam to give an account of what happened and what was going on. But I totally agree with Anton when he says they need to be criticized, because we have been given this idea that our shit doesn't stink. We think that we get to control everything and that nothing we do is wrong. I don't think we're being unfairly criticized. I will go back to say that maybe a month ago, I said I was going to stop saying black women and start saying exactly what they are, which is mutts. Menacing, unruly, thuggish, and thottish. And that's what we're seeing. These are the type of people that we're seeing presented to us over social media. And we're calling them black women. Typically, they are mostly black. But that's the behavior that they exhibit. And it's not because of necessarily their skin color, but because of the way that they act, their behavior, and typically it is black women. I don't think it's an unfair criticism. I'm not offended when people criticize, because I think that's the only way women are going to be able to see it's a problem. The behavior is a problem. If you're constantly told you're a queen, if you're constantly put on a pedestal, if you're constantly told the black woman is God, then you don't get to see that those actions that are harming us are wrong. We don't look at the demise of the black family and take any type of responsibility and accountability, and we have to. I don't have a problem with passport bros. I don't have a problem with men saying, I want a woman who can actually submit and actually be the woman that God created women to be. It's clear women were created for men, not the other way around. And it's clear that we're supposed to be helpmeets. People always make it one word, but it's two separate words. Help is to support and assist. Meet is to fulfill and satisfy. And as women, we've gotten away from that because people have told us we're the boss. We're in charge. We're the leaders. We can wear the pants. We can bring home we can do this and we can do that to stand toe to toe with men. And I don't have a problem with an educated woman, but we do not stand toe to toe with men. That's unbiblical. It's against God, and that's not why we were created. We were created to help men, but we've gotten to the point where we see men as our simps and our lapdogs and think they're here to help us.
I like her.
Hold on, hold for 1 second. Let me add one more thing, and then I'm
just about to say somebody gonna be like, I rock you. Said, Kuda, sir, are you afraid of the game button? Turn it up. I thought I'm already turned up. Hold on, let me see. All right, y'all should be able to hear me. Y'all should be able to hear me loud as hell now. I done turned myself I'm all the way up. You said you thought she was gonna say tethers. I rock her. All right. All right, my battery's about to die, y'all. Let's try to get at least 10 minutes in. It's Player Talk Radio. Y'all please hit the like button to support the show. Let's go.
I'm going to get back out of the way. And I want to follow in on Shamika's point about everybody says they've been told they were queens, they've been told this. The thing that's always struck at me, and I'm talking about since I was very young, is people would say, and I was saying this when I was young, you just can't handle a strong black woman. You just don't want to be challenged. You just can't, and I would say, yeah, you're right. I don't want to be challenged. I want to lead, and I'm going to lead. And if you're not willing to follow, me and you are not going to last long. I got enough challenges in the world that when I come home, I don't want to be challenged. I want someone to help me get through the challenges I face in the real world. And so this whole strong woman and blah, blah, it's like, no, I want a feminine woman. I want a great mother to my kids, and I want to help me. And black women have been convinced that strength, and I'm gonna land this plane, I want to play the clip. This is how black women have interpreted strength. They run around and act like men. And they're profane.
Y'all gotta stop saying that they're acting like men, because they're not acting like men. They're acting like themselves. God damn.
They're hyper aggressive, and they you didn't respect me, and I'm gonna be disrespectful. This is a clip we played yesterday from a woman, I believe, at a Wendy's. Her arm seems to be around her young son, and this is like this is the problem. Women see this as strength, and this is what they're offering up the world. And I just look at it and go, I feel sorry for the kid, and I feel sorry for any man that laid down with that woman and created that kid and has to deal with this woman. Play the clip. I don't think it's that long, but this is the embodiment of everything that I think scares a lot of black men. And we'd love to find the needles in the haystack, but it seems like we're getting a lot more of this than the other. Play the clip.
You came in here. You didn't even tell me I was doing anything to rectify the situation. Fuck you, bitch. Get out my face. Somebody give me the number. Who your general manager? Bitch, like I said, every time I come in here, you fucking yelling at somebody. Bitch, I come here every day for my lunch break. Eat me, bitch. You can say that shit walking away. Now, how about that? Now, pick it up, bitch. Pick it all up. Pick it the fuck up, bitch.
And so, obviously...
Look at the sister laughing. Who that is? Who that is?
See, that's a super extreme example.
What's going on, LT, man? Good to see you, man. As always.
That's a super extreme, and that's not the norm. But...
That's the norm, Jason.
Are there lesser... I don't think that's the norm.
That's
There's
the
lesser
norm,
versions
Jason.
of it.
That's not. I don't know a lot of women who act like that. I'm telling you'll never see my wife or my daughters behaving that way in public.
Wow.
I think if you were to show some crazy line, ridiculous redneck, on TV, most.
All right, this is black fatigue. Now niggas are playing stupid. Man, I never seen that in my life. That's a polarizing video, Jason.
White people wouldn't identify with him either. I don't think any of us have to even answer for that behavior, because the most extreme behavior is what gets captured.
Y'all just sat up here and just said, I don't want to fight when I have to get home, blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And now all of a sudden he brings up a video of the stuff y'all just described not too long ago. Now it's not okay.
In the media, and they do that same thing to men. Look at what some of these male rappers are doing. Just embarrassing black men everywhere, making us look stupid. So I personally think we have to know the difference between.
If you show you a video of King Von now, you gonna say, man, I never seen that, Jason. I never seen that before.
The true human beings that are really leading the community versus these cartoon characters that people love to put on television.
That is the norm.
Anton, go ahead.
Well, first of all, why do we keep on comparing? Like, we keep trying to justify our bad behavior by comparing it to white people. Western culture is cooked. White women are no better. They are whores. They sleep around. If you go to any college campus, they are more promiscuous than any women that's on campus. And more importantly, You have more white people on social services than any other demographic. So we need to kill this whole narrative and thinking that just because we compare ourselves to a group of people that are slightly above us socioeconomic status as far as how it is that they perform as a group, then that somehow justifies the fact that we need to be able to do what it is that we need to do. That is the norm. And it is normal for us to have certain conversations. If you want to see a truly racist person, go into some of these black households and see how they talk when they by themselves without the cameras on. If you want to see some people go out and twerk, it's not hard to go out there and find some people twerking with their pajamas still on that they're gonna get back in bed with. That is not something that is new. All of us have seen it. This is not
Anton frozen like shit. At all times to get frozen. Anton is frozen. Sounds like most 304s, that's what I'm saying.
a rare sighting. This is not Bigfoot in the woods. If you go to Walmart right now, you can probably find both a white woman in her pajamas with SpongeBob on them, and they dirty at the bottom, and you can find a black woman with a bonnet on. And more importantly, if you go to our local schools, because it starts with the parents, it's not the teachers.
And then this is what they do. What they do is they take the camera, black people, and put it on you. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Thank you guys for supporting the show. We definitely need to do better on the support. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. Thank you guys for coming through. We're going to do a double header. It's Player Talk Radio. I appreciate you guys for the love. Make sure you guys support the show on air, off air. If you're listening to this on the replay, please support. It's Player Talk Radio. We out. Good morning. Peace.